Schaefer. Happer and wow, Schaefer. It's Connor and Mike. Yeah. Happer and Schaefer. Happer and Schaefer. Happer and wow, Schaefer. It's Connor and Mike.
All right, good morning and welcome in. Happy Wednesday. It is Happer and Schaefer here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer, Joey Warcola with you. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Connor. Good morning, Mike. And good morning, Maple Street.
Maple Street. We're just picking out streets now.
Soon it will be interstate.
Maple Street sucks.
Maple Street's like one of the worst
One of
Omaha
America's worst
experiences.
streets. Yeah.
It is, depending on the time of the day. Usually when the sun is out, it's pretty bad.
There's some sort of force that forces everyone to drive 9 to 15 miles an hour below the speed limit on
Yes.
that road at all times.
It is so annoying.
We could do a segment on me just giving thoughts on driving around Omaha and the various experiences of like, I absolutely detest trying to go, what would that be, north and south and dealing with Pacific, because for some reason,
Okay.
the lights at Pacific going north and south, because you get funneled down into
On
one
what
lane.
street?
180th, 168th, 100,
Okay.
like any of that, you get funneled down to a singular lane and it's almost impossible to get through at certain times of day.
Well,
with
not
any sort of-
168th anymore. 168th
Is that up to two?
Yes, 168th is good. That was under
Maybe it's
construction.
180th that I run into this. a lot.
168th and Pacific to Center was under construction for more than a decade. It
Yeah.
feels like, but it is now not.
Yeah, it was that little gap.
Yeah.
That
Pacific to Center.
down the hill where that little bridge is at.
Pacific to
they
Center.
took
It's
forever.
it's open.
Yeah, so 180th must be what I'm thinking of then, because whatever I do this, I will never be able to. I'll get stopped like 11 cars back, and it's just a really short light for north-south and really long for east-west, and I won't make it through, and I'll be mad about
There are definitely some areas of town that need to realize that there are more people that live in Omaha now.
Well, when they
will.
when they first built the city, they didn't even envision there being over 1 million people.
Well,
No,
sure,
I'm
they-
afraid not.
They never envisioned that people would live in the northwest corner either, which is why they never connected the interstate to the northern part of the.
That is
that
the
is true.
worst.
Yeah.
That is the worst
It's a-
lack of foresight that
You know.
we're currently dealing with today. And
I
that,
lived in Lincoln. I'm well aware of lack of foresight. It also occurred out here, and in that area will only get worse as thousands and thousands of people move out there. all
once
the
again,
time.
I suggested the elevated 204th Street, just like they did elevated Dodge Street. Do
that would be great.
elevated 204th Street Expressway and just jam it from basically Maple or Dodge all the way down to 80,
Send it to the sky.
or to Gretna, or like whatever you want to do. But
Yeah,
just
that
give us a
construction was
little
20
byway, because there's so many lights out there now, and there's only going to be more lights.
Yeah.
Because there's just more businesses that are popping up, just like it is on Maple,
Yep.
just as like it is on Fort. They need to expand Fort. There's so many different things. It's not good.
No,
It is a lot better than Lincoln. A lot better than
it's
Lincoln.
fine. It's better. It's not as much. Like there's still problematic areas now. Having the interstate, other things. The Dodge Expressway is fantastic.
Right.
I use that every day.
That was
It's
20 years
helpful.
ago when they
Lincoln's
constructed
interstate
that.
is useless.
Well, Lincoln's interstate has no value because it runs north of the town.
Useless.
Yeah, so there's no. I don't even call it an
It
interstate.
does it.
It's just I-80, and it briefly touches the top part of Lincoln.
And
that
then
nobody-
It's like
180
it's
goes to
like a-
downtown.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a 2-mile stretch from 80 to downtown. That's it, and no one uses it.
yeah, I don't even.
Except for just
It's-
going to the Nebraska football games.
Even
it's
then,
literally
you're
only
better
gonna
off
give it-
avoiding that and coming in other ways.
Yeah.
If you come
You
in
are.
for basketball, you would rather take alternate routes than coming in
Shout
on
out to my boys on
on 180.
Cornhusker Highway.
Cornhusker Highway.
Salt Creek or whatever it's called.
Yeah. You just come in on 27th and what I used to call the
Ugh.
Callahan that they built around the the now innovation campus that
Ugh.
nobody used forever.
That's right, but now it's booming out
Well,
there.
it has to be.
Business is booming.
So
Road talk.
we love roads.
We do love roads.
Speaking of roads, I've not been like further south than the Nebraska State Capitol in Lincoln. I've not been like
You've
in
never
most-
been south of the capital.
Wow.
Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
The state capital, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. There's
You've
a lot
been
to
to the
explore.
center of Lincoln. Then.
No, I've not ventured a lot in Lincoln. It's just only that northwest part where the interstate's at, Memorial Stadium, and the
So
state
you've only
capital.
been downtown, really? Schaefer could explain to you about Kansas City, where he lived.
Yeah, so I lived in Northwest Kansas City or Southeast Lincoln, whichever one of the two you want to call it. It was great down there. I realized when I lived down there, I had no reason to go north other than to go to the radio station that I frequented at the time. So otherwise, I mean, you leave the downtown area of Lincoln, you realize other than for sporting events, there's no reason to ever go
Should
back.
that be a task for me just to drive down to Lincoln, just drive in all?
No, I would not recommend that.
Just get an update on the roads.
I would
I'm
not
trying to think if
recommend
there's
that.
a singular thing that's worth you going to a non-downtown area of Lincoln for, and unless you
that
wanted
doesn't
to visit,
already exist here.
yeah, if you wanted to visit the casino for some reason, I guess.
Wait, they have a casino.
Yeah, they have a casino
Did
in
not
the
know that.
southwest portion. I never went to it, so that tells you how super valuable it must be. No, I can't think of anything. You don't golf. I'm assuming you don't.
No,
golf.
I don't go.
The good golf courses are on the east and southeast part of the town, unless you really care about wilderness or you have a member that belongs at Lincoln Country Club. But they're both south as well. So everything's south there.
Certainly south of the capital.
Yeah. Unless you Hillcrest is fine. That's north or more north. It's over by O Street, which isn't really north. Lincoln's weird.
You would not make a trip to go to Hillcrest.
No, you could play
You would
similar
not,
courses.
you would not make a trip to go to Mahoney. You would not make a trip to go to Highlands. You would you would not make a trip.
Highlands is fine.
I
You don't
went
need
to
to make a
Mahoney
trip
State
through
Park.
Highlands. Holmes is fine. I will say this for Lincoln and Omaha, the municipal courses are better than what I would have guessed, they have gotten better throughout my lifetime. I will say that. I don't know about Omaha as much. The Knowles is better now than it used to be, so I give that.
Yeah, they
somewhat
did some
credit.
work. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the Muni court. Just avoid Mahoney. Mahoney's the worst of all of them that I can think of. If I were to power rank all the Muni courses between the two cities,
Power ranking with tiers, streets.
Okay, that's
we could do
interesting.
golf courses at some point.
We could do golf course in the state. You would have more knowledge than I because I haven't been to any of them outside of Lincoln or Omaha.
Okay,
But I really have only played like probably 2 or 3 in Lincoln too.
you're going on the road to play golf this weekend.
I am, and I'm very
you got to get the
excited
people
about
out to Tatanka or to Wild Horse or to,
We've always kicked it around. So this is the weekend of my tournament, of which I am the defending champion.
yeah, look at that.
For the record, so I'll bring the beige
The man
jacket.
of corn dogs.
I'll bring the beige jacket
Corn dog
with
Connor,
me,
you're
corn
known.
dogs, things
Yeah.
of that nature. Champions dinner, of course, is tomorrow night. I will have to host, but so we've always kicked around the idea of taking it out west, and for whatever reason, we landed on Firekeeper in Kansas, which has a cabin basically attached to it and a casino basically attached to that. So we found a great spot.
Oh yeah.
This will be the second time that we're playing there. which
No,
will be fantastic.
I have never played Firekeeper, but I have heard nothing but good things. So
It rocks.
Yeah.
We
would
got
love to play.
eaten alive last time we played there in 2020. And we did well. We probably could all contracted COVID, and it was 900 degrees.
There you
So,
go.
yeah, it was great. Awesome times.
Speaking of temperature, it's nice outside.
You know what? I threw a long sleeve shirt on, long sleeve like jacket on, just because I could.
Yeah, I thought you looked ridiculous when I walked in, but I understand the appeal of it.
I was like, this
This is the closest that you're going to get this month to actually needing sleeves that go past
this
your
shirt
elbows.
with sleeves in my closet looked bored and lonely, and I wanted to take it out.
I mean, it's not heavy; it's light. It's
It's
I mean,
it's
I mean,
probably
I
too
would say it's
heavy.
medium.
It's probably
it
too
looks
heavy.
heavier than what he wants.
It's definitely too heavy.
There's definitely long sleeve, lighter stuff that he wears.
Yeah.
But no, I like I said, I was like, wow, Connor's really basking in this 70-degree day.
I went for it, man. I went for it. You know, I didn't want to go full, summer, because this is not created the same as it has been over the last several days. So it's a little bit different, and it's great. Maybe even there will be some rain that comes along with the weather today.
There's a little bit of rain on my drive-in.
There's your Happer and Schaefer weather update, as we do literally every
today.
single morning. This is what we do. Sam McEwen and Lauren Michelson will join today, as they do on our Wednesday show. Elsewhere, we have plenty of stuff we're going to get to. Of course, our accountability and our free balling and all of our balls segments for the record.
Ballsiest show on 1620.
There's absolutely no doubt about
That's
that.
a good promo.
A couple news items from yesterday. We'll do a baseball roundup segment that we'll throw in there. Northwestern showed off their new stadium to the media. I believe they will be having some availability for the media that is interested at Big Ten Media Days to go over and check out the new stadium, which I'm sure people will drool over that.
I wonder if that's something Matt would do.
100%.
He would just
if invited, Matt will be going and he will be putting on a hard hat just like Chip Kelly. Absolutely. I don't think that Matt is A, going to Big Ten Media Days, or B, would be invited. But, if he was invited and he was going, then yes, he would go.
I mean, I assume that there's so few visitors over there that you could just wander over and see it.
I'm sure. I mean, he's
like
already,
a high school
wonder
field.
if G-Fed's going to make that a tap.
I mean, he's already on one of his trips home, like on just taking pictures of it.
Sure. Yeah.
Which nobody cares about, but he has done that.
I hope that when the stadium is open to the public, that he does an entire segment of just reviews that come in from media people.
Yes.
It would be great.
At least a segment.
Well, Josh,
maybe an entire show.
Yeah.
Josh will have an opportunity to be up in there depending on what the lineup of games he'll have.
I think he said he's going to be at the lacrosse field early in the season, potentially.
He's been there before. He's made that his home.
Because
that's a beautiful stadium.
They don't open up that stadium until the Penn State game, first weekend of October.
Yeah, the first Friday game of that month.
So a couple news items, like I said, some baseball stuff. That Northwestern thing produced an incredible picture of Chip Kelly, which our dear friend Joey made into his graphic this morning, very appropriately. So have you seen this, Schaefer?
The graphic?
Go look at the StreamYard. I
saw Joey's good work.
Okay,
I saw the story yesterday and sort of marveled at it. And then marveled at the fact that Chip Kelly once, maybe the college coach du jour, probably about, what are we talking?
Not that long ago.
15 years ago, 16 years ago, right around 2010, 2011, right before he left for the NFL. Like maybe the biggest, like, up and coming, exciting coach in college football. And now he's the offensive coordinator at Northwestern wearing a hard hat and a purple vest.
It's incredible. What a career
life comes for all of us. Really.
I mean, I'm sure he seems very happy, to be honest.
I think he loves not being a head coach.
I think he should have always been not a head coach, except for at Oregon.
I think he could have stayed as a head coach in college. I think he wanted to test it in the NFL. It didn't go as terrible, but it didn't go well.
Yeah, that's what I mean, except for at Oregon.
Yeah.
At Oregon, obviously, it was going fine.
And that was just maybe like the magical period of time.
Maybe. But when you got magic, don't leave it. Don't mess with happy.
No doubt about it.
And then he messed with it big time.
Definitely.
And then he became a weirdo in the NFL.
I think he was always a weirdo. It just became more known as a weirdo.
Yep. Nebraska, get this, planting corn.
Whoa.
We'll talk plenty about this, of course. At least an hour and a half about the
Iowa.
corn. There was a tweet that was going around that I meant to get to a couple days ago. A study on what happens after NFL teams take fun away in the locker room.
Oh.
Yeah, it was some good research. An interesting, very summary sports talk prompt, a Matt Damon athlete comp.
Okay.
Since there's lots of talk about Matt Damon right now. So we might get to that.
In a movie.
And then the athletic quarterbacks list, which we talked about just briefly yesterday with Mitch. And we could go over that a little bit more in depth today. Did you see the TBT? The TBT was popping off last night. Did you see our boy Omaha's own Tradeon Hollins beefing with Michael Beasley?
No, I saw this mentioned here and then was very confused in the same way that I was when you were explaining the Caleb Wilson, Arthur
Kaluma.
Yeah, who got signed a two-way deal, by the way, yesterday.
Yeah, with the Lakers.
Every starter from that Elite Eight team is now signed an NBA contract.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Tradeon Hollins was one of the wildest high school athletes that I think I covered.
He was incredible.
You had coaches absolutely convinced that he could be a star in college at either sport, like either as a cornerback, and then obviously he's a very, very good a guard. You know, I mean, he was very good at UNO. And
Led the nation in steals.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he was just one of those guys. I remember going, I think Jerry Ball was still the coach. Does that sound right? At Omaha Central. And
J-Ball.
Or J-Ball.
J-Ball.
Yeah, sorry. I remember going over there. I think it was like the first time I had, maybe first or second time I'd ever been to Omaha Central. And I don't remember what room I was parked in to interview Tredeon Hollins, but there was just a lot of enthusiasm about what he could be, but nobody knew like what level for either sport, if that makes sense.
Oh, definitely.
Everybody's convinced that he could play D1 college football or D1 basketball, but it was like a debate as to, probably not, definitely the feeling was not Power 4 basketball, but if it was football, it would take some years to build that up to.
Yeah.
But no doubt, incredible.
Ended up at a JUCO and then at
it was Central Community College. Wasn't
it was
he was in Columbus.
The one in Columbus, and then
where he was phenomenal,
where he was awesome, and he led the country in steals, of course. And
did he start? Why is Bowling Green in my head with him? Did he go to Bowling Green for a brief minute before he went to junior college? Was he committed to Bowling Green?
I don't think so. I thought it was straight to UNO, but I guess
they
I'm not
offered
sure.
him.
But
that's what it was.
He somehow ended up. I love the TBT because this stuff happens. And well, I should say I don't really love the TBT, but this could be a potential reason to love the TBT, where you'll watch it, you'll flip it on one night, and there will be random dudes from all over the country. So he somehow ended up on the Kansas team last night, and they were playing the K-State team. And there was a video that was going around. I didn't watch any of it. There was a video going around of Tredeon Hollins and Michael Beasley just yapping at each other from across the court, which is absolutely fantastic.
I like it. I just remembered like one of the biggest supporters of Tredeon Hollins, one of the guys I would talk to the most about it, is now the associate or second in command at the SEC behind Greg Sankey and Garth Glissman. Yep. Huge supporter of local basketball here in Nebraska.
When all those guys were in, because they were all freshmen when I was a senior, and I just remember like tapping them all on the, even Okoye, who was 9 feet tall, little guys, and then they went on to win like a bunch of state championships and stuff like that. Nice job.
What's Okoye Gal up to these days? I haven't thought of that name. In a long time.
I think he's around. I hear from him every once in a while.
Okay.
I think he's around, but because he went to college in so many different places,
right.
He's got like options on where he could, settle in. But I think he's sort of around and got his hands on whatever he could get on. All right, let's take a break. We're off and running here. By the way, if you'd like to get in touch with the show today, we'd love to hear from you. 402-951-1620. On the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline, you can call or text that number. Tweeted us at HappenSchafe on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. Email Connor, Mike, or Joey at 1620thezone.com. On the Equitable Bank inbox. And we say good morning to our YouTube streamers this morning. Got a YouTube comment. Connor going 9 beers, 9 dogs on 18 holes. No. I'm going water, probably some beer, maybe one cocktail, like maybe one mixed drink. We like to keep it pretty tight on the golf course.
Just don't pull the Joey drinking 4 beers and 4 old fashions.
I will most certainly not do that. I will not be. I'm not a heavy drinker on the golf course.
Yeah, same. It's
very light.
Good.
Like I really need max 6 per 18.
It's almost like a level of personal embarrassment, but it's a real question as to whether I can finish 6 bears on a golf course.
Yeah,
I just don't drink when I golf.
I don't want
you
to.
Put me in the clubhouse after, no problem.
I like to be light. I like to be nimble. I like to be. I'm not moving around really all that much, but I don't like the beer. Just
Yeah, I don't even think about it in
sleep.
that sense. It's not what I want.
Okay,
I'm probably spending too much time complaining to be able to drink. So
that is possible.
That's my issue, I'm pretty sure.
Off and running on a Wednesday. We'll be back right after this on 1620 The Zone. Big day today. The Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers today will become the first NFL teams to have their veterans report to training camp. Those two teams, of course, will meet at the Hall of Fame game in 15 days. The Hall of Fame game is 2 weeks from tomorrow.
And then the Packers' first preseason game a week later. I'm so excited.
Awesome.
You genuinely care about preseason, right?
I just like watching. I've said this several times. I like watching the new guys who normally don't get any action performs. Just see how they look. That's just me.
Are you going to be locked in the Hall of Fame game?
I'll have it on in the background.
Yeah.
It's just something I traditionally do every year. Just put it on the background. There's a football game.
It's a Joey tradition.
I can find ways to throw like spring training games on in the background. I can pay attention to spring training in a way that I never pay attention to professional fall camp for the NFL.
Yeah.
Like I know that it's here. I will watch for fantasy news, I suppose.
We just want to stay away from
injuries.
injuries.
On certain things with the Vikings. Otherwise, weirdly, for as much as I care about that team, I am very checked out during August.
I think that's okay because the whole thing is really just a 3-week stretch to see who could stay away from the most injuries.
I mean, that's basically what it is.
That's it. I mean, that's
the
all.
only time your team is in the news, it's Teddy Bridgewater has horrific injury, and then they trade for Sam Bradford as you're walking through the Denver airport, and it's horrifying.
That could happen.
Maybe to me.
That could happen. Hard Knocks happens.
Oh.
I don't know who's hard knocking this year. Yeah, I do.
See, I saw Seattle was going to be on Hard Knocks.
I feel like it's a
preseason thing.
Yeah. Well, they do 7 versions of it now.
Yeah,
they do. They do an in season, then they do a preseason. So it is the
the
Seattle
first
Seahawks.
episode.
It will premiere 2 weeks from yesterday.
Okay. I watched the first episode and determined whether I think the coaches are interesting enough for me to stick around.
Yeah, no, I usually end up, kind of flipping it on, whatever at night, especially now that baseball season is basically over.
I think my favorite one ever
Royals suck.
Is the Raiders with Mike Mayock and John Gruden.
A great classic.
Was terrific. And then going all the way back to 2009 is one of the first ones I ever watched. There's the Bengals. And that was my introduction to Mike Zimmer.
Nice.
And then he ends up as the Vikings coach. And I love that guy up until I turned on him like everybody else.
That happens. Yeah.
Usually your quote about, live long enough to see yourself become the villain. That was Mike Zimmer.
Christopher Nolan.
Our guy.
We'll
see the Odyssey in 2031.
I may just see the Odyssey.
They should make
a
movie called The Odyssey about us trying to see the Odyssey.
It's going to be difficult. Can I cut out 3 hours of my life somewhere? It's going to be very, very hard. I like the Cowboys one. This is probably, I don't know, 7
was it Jason Garrett or was it Mike McCarthy?
I think it was Jason Garrett because it was Dak and Zeke.
Okay.
Des Bryant.
And there was the Jets one with Rodgers a couple years ago.
I tuned into that one.
Pretty interesting. Just to how they sort of handled him. And
that was Robert Saleh, right?
Yep.
You could just tell that guy had no chance of surviving his job. And now he's Josh Hodson's coach.
But the same things happen.
He's coaching another team.
You go through and there's these certain points that you hit. Obviously, when on one episode of Hard Knocks, Oz the Mentalist will show up at one of the episodes. Yep. I think that would be qualified as fun. So in all of these, training camps and all these locker rooms, there are quote unquote fun things to do for the NFL players, ping pong tables, pool tables, whatever. It's supposed to be a space that you want to hang out. It can be anyway, depending on how you view it. So I saw this tweet a few days ago from Ryan Paganetti, and he did some research on this. Is it true? I don't know. I'm going to believe Ryan on this. It seems like he's committed to the bit at the very least. He says one of the NFL's funniest traditions is a new coach taking over a team and removing fun from the locker room or facility. I found 20 reported fun removal cases since 2001. Off-season, if it's done in the off-season, 8 out of the 9 teams improved from the previous year, going a combined 49-96 the previous seasons to 74-71. So there's some precedent there for the fun to work. Now, there are some times where the fun gets removed in season You guys just lost 4 in a row. Our defense is a leaky faucet. No more ping pong, is what they say. 5 of those teams improved. 4 of them declined, and 1 of them stayed exactly the same. So really, no change. So he says the lesson here is if you're a new coach, take away the ping pong table. If you're 3-5 in November, removing distractions may just be another distraction. I have always actually wondered about this.
Yeah.
I know what's going through coaches' heads when they remove the fun stuff, or in Tim Miles' case, put a chain on the door, whatever it is. Like, we can't have nice things because you guys haven't earned the nice things. I imagine that is a pretty high wire act.
Sure.
Just in how to deal with your team and the team dynamics and stuff like that. I've always wondered about that, and now we have the information. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, it's it comes up in every sport. There's always like some story of a television being smashed or the game system being chucked out the door.
Billy Bean hammers the sound system with the wooden bat.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Michael Brunt saw that in Laramie.
As Jeremy Giambi was dancing on top of the table weirdly. Still a great movie.
Yeah. No, what I love in here is in the reply, someone asked about boat trips, which the famous
good one.
The famous love boat scandal for the Minnesota Vikings that resulted in their coach getting fired. So that could happen too. So keep him off the boat.
Did he follow up? Did he get any boat trip?
He said he's going to look into that one tomorrow. So I don't think he ever did. So this was July 15th. We have no updates on the boat trips that I know of.
Let's see. He followed up the next day.
Oh, he did? Okay.
He didn't say anything about boat trips, but he said, part 2 is even better. Did removing fun beat Vegas?
Oh.
So removing fun against the line. Against their archived preseason market win totals, the 9 offseason fun removal teams went 7 over, 1 under, and 1 push.
I wish that he had this broken down by teams and year.
Like, and who they were.
Yeah, I would be curious
I'd like to see
about
the spreadsheet.
Who's endeavoring to take the most fun away from their team.
He said, I also researched the opposite. Since 2001, I found 26 reported cases of NFL teams adding fun to their locker room during the offseason. The 26 fun additions were even 13 over and 13 under as far as preseason win totals are concerned. So Vegas perfectly priced adding the fun, and it may have underestimated the power of taking away the fun. You walk in one day and where there used to be a ping pong table and a pool table and an Xbox, there's just nothing.
If our bosses took our fun away here,
what would they take away?
I'm trying to think.
What do we have for fun?
You guys have
they take away our Pick Six previews.
TV. We have no more TV, I guess. That's the closest we have to fun.
Do you think
Matt's big clock?
Do you think we would get more productive if they took away TV and clock?
It would not bother me because I almost never watch the TV. For instance, you will be gone tomorrow and Joey will turn it on and I will not have any edict about what should be on.
We just let Joey handle the remote these days. It's all you
And
know.
then I also just sit with not facing the TV ever. So it wouldn't affect me at all. I don't think it would affect you much.
It really wouldn't. I don't notice
Other than
the
you
things
probably wouldn't have as strong opinions on tennis.
I wouldn't. In fact, you're exactly right. The only reason that I have any opinions on Yannick Sinner is because the television was on during those days.
French Open and
the French Open and Wimbledon.
And now you have a lifelong enemy.
I do. And he didn't even make my teams I'd like to at least see win championships.
That's how valuable Yannick Sinner is.
Exactly. I don't even care all that much. There you go. Can't wait to see what kind of fun preseason shenanigans we get into in NFL training camps, which once again open in part today. The Carolina Panthers are reporting I have to go on Panthers Wire to check out what's going on over there.
Oh no.
I have to see.
I might be seeing the Panthers this season.
There is a guy who lives very, very close to me who has a Carolina Panthers flag.
Okay.
Like a big flag.
Is it Austin Jacobs?
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's what I thought when I moved in. It's not.
Okay.
It's not. How crazy is that?
That is pretty crazy. I think I only know like 2 actual Panthers fans prior to, I mean, I've known you for a while.
I'm a
but
huge
I don't know that I
Panthers
would
fan.
count you in the list of the Panthers fans.
I'm
that
a
I
huge
know.
Panthers. Look at
But
my shirt.
You're
It's a
half
Panthers
half
colors.
Panthers fan, and then I guess Austin Jacobson's a real Panthers fan.
He is.
Did he actually cares if they win or lose?
He does.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So now I'm up to 3.
I mean, he's sarcastic like about everything, but
Sure.
I do think he actually cares about the Panthers.
Do you ever think about that? If you have if you know someone, directly know someone that's a fan of every team, I think about that every now and then. Like all the NFL teams.
I haven't. I have to. That sounds like a great spreadsheet.
Actually, probably would be a pretty good
Just to
spreadsheet.
track.
Yeah.
I don't think I do.
You contact someone like, hey, just want to clarify. Are you actually a fan of the Arizona Cardinals?
I don't think I do. I don't think I do.
I think I'm really close.
Are we talking just baseball and football, or
yeah, well, whichever league you want to pick.
because I definitely don't know any
no NBA, no NHL.
I don't think I know any Dallas Mavericks fans.
I know a Dallas Mavericks fan.
Do you know an Atlanta Hawks fan?
I don't know an Atlanta Hawks fan. I know people that have moved to Atlanta that now claim the Hawks, but I don't know if they care or not.
Do you know a Washington Wizards fan?
Don't know a Washington Wizards fan.
Do you know a
Brooklyn Nets?
Yeah, Brooklyn Nets. Good one.
Nope. Well, okay. So I had a friend from college that was from New York, moved back lived in Brooklyn when they added Kevin Durant, became a Brooklyn Nets fan, and then was celebrating the Knicks championship a couple weeks ago.
Yikes.
So, yeah.
Tough.
He just roots for the successful New York teams fan.
That's okay.
So I don't know if that counts or not.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, no,
You can count him in the Nets category and the Knicks category too.
He gets to count twice.
I suppose. I mean, if we're trying to get to the end of the rainbow there.
Yeah, well, and like I said, the NBA would be borderline impossible.
Major League Baseball, I could probably get close. It feels like everybody's got a favorite baseball team.
Yeah, baseball I think is close, and then the NFL I feel like it's like the AFC South maybe. Like I don't know if I know an actual Falcons fan. I know Saints, Bucks, and Panthers, but I don't know if I know a
I
Falcons.
don't think I know any Bucks fans.
I know several. One's a daily listener.
Whoa, hello, good morning, Baker Mayfield.
I say daily. I don't think he listens like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., but he's a 6 a.m. listener. He's probably listening right now. He'll probably text me.
Let's go, Baker all day.
Yeah.
I love Baker.
We do love Baker.
He's awesome. All right, when we come back, we'll pop open the college football mags again. We will give the balls a spin. We'll see what we pull out. Coming up next on 1620 The Zone. Folks, we love college football. We love college football so much that sometimes we talk about the stupid crap that happens in the offseason. SEC Media Days is the peak of the stupid crap that happens in the offseason. Can't wait to see what comes out of today.
Who's speaking today?
At SEC Media Days, I will tell you that.
It's going to be DeBoer today. I don't think he spoke.
Is it a lane day?
No, that was yesterday.
Ooh, yesterday was a lane day.
Today's Wednesday, July
22nd.
22nd. They have dates wrong on this on the SEC's website. It says Monday, July 20th, Tuesday, July 21st, and Wednesday, July 23rd. Wrong. I think it's
accountability.
Yeah, they need some account. And this is all this year's stuff as well. Okay, so I think what they mean, gosh, I don't know. Tuesday, July 21st is correct. All right, so I'm going to go with Alabama, Florida, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M today. And then the lane day would be tomorrow with Sark to finish things off at SEC Media Days. Who knows what kind of crazy things will be said. Did you hear what happened yesterday at SEC Media Days?
No.
There was breakaway talk on Monday. I don't know that there was anything particularly big yesterday.
I saw that one Georgia guy drinking out of the or the gallon mug or
close.
Or, yeah.
We're getting closer now.
Water jug.
So one of Five Bomb's callers was inside the Tampa Marriott. He did not have a credential. He was on the second floor interviewing people where Media Days was. And then they removed him because he did not have a credential. And then he threw a huge fit about it and said, there's every single podcaster and mouth breather and basement dweller in the world here, but yet they want to remove Legend. His name is Legend. They want to remove. He does a podcast.
Oh, wow.
He just didn't have a credential. And
you got to have a credential.
You have to have a credential.
That's how it works.
And so he, I believe he threatened lawsuit against the SEC.
Yeah, that'll work.
Did
he claim his First Amendment rights were being trampled
possibly,
because he's an idiot and doesn't understand anything?
I didn't hear the things that were being said out loud in particular, but I would imagine something like that. He was removed and from the premises.
Famously, the First Amendment definitely focuses on credentials from the SEC.
In areas you can and cannot be. Yes, that's exactly what the
First Amendment
does. At a private event.
In a private business.
Where you need to
that's
have
going to go well for him. I hope he spends a lot of money on his lawsuit.
He's not suing anybody. All right, let's get out the tiny little balls here and give it a spin. How many do we want today, by the way?
Let's do 3.
3 balls. 25, 10, 11,
46.
which gets us to 46.
Which gets us to
the Big Ten,
California.
Oh, your boy.
Yeah.
Their lefty quarterback. You like him.
I like him so much. I still don't know how to pronounce Jaren's actual
now
name.
That's normal.
So JKS is the quarterback of Cal. Let's go to the outlook here. The lines of scrimmage hold them back from higher projection, but if Tosh Lapoy, can develop them quicker than expected, Cal has a good shot at a bowl bid. They need to win 2 of the 4 swing games: UCLA, Pittsburgh, at UNLV, at NC State. I think they're going to be a bowl team. I think Tosh Lapoy could have something going there. Like if they can win 8 games this year,
so you seem way higher on them than Brett is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know any more than anybody else would, and he certainly does this for a living. But they went to a bowl last year. Cal has talent. He did a really nice job in the transfer portal, and he's known for recruiting. It's just a matter of, did the staff he assemble have them ready to be able to play on game days? I mean, that's always the biggest part. And then I kind of think a JKS breakout is a possibility.
JKS. They do. I mean, the schedule for an ACC schedule is relatively tricky. They have to go to they have Clemson come there. They have to go to Syracuse. They have Virginia Tech come there. They go to SMU. They go to NC State.
A lot of it is your 3 non-cons. 2 of them are UCLA and at UNLV. Those aren't guaranteed wins.
I have a question for you. So we hear Big Ten coaches and SEC not SEC because it doesn't really apply to them, but we hear Big Ten coaches complain about how much they have to travel and how arduous it is all the time. Like, oh, we have to go across the country and play a football game and then come back and play 7 days later, as if that's not a very normal thing for literally everyone. Do we just not hear ACC coaches complain as much because they're in the ACC or because it's not happening?
So I think it's because they're in the ACC. I also think that the schools that would have the most complaints are Cal and Stanford, and they don't have media members generally. There's really no media.
Maybe that's the answer. Don't have media members. Don't talk. Because I instantly respect the West Coast ACC schools more for not complaining nonstop about this. Look at this. They go to, in 4 weeks, they go to SMU, NC State, bye week, and Virginia.
Yep.
That's bad.
They're Cal. That's in Berkeley.
It is in Berkeley. A lot of it to me is basically just their coaches aren't super high profile. They're not going to talk a lot about it. What else are you going to do? Like, you had to beg to be in the conference anyway.
That's what everyone should say.
Right.
That's what all the West Coast Big Ten schools should say, but yet they don't.
This feels like this is expressly directed to our friend Mick Cronin.
It is. I haven't forgot about you, Mick. I haven't forgot about you. Stop complaining about all these things.
He's complaining somewhere about something right now.
Anytime I hear coaches
4 a.m.
anytime I hear coaches complain about this, I'm like, oh my God, you don't get it. That's what the money is for. Yeah. You're here for a reason.
Your options were you could be one of the non-state schools in the Pac-12.
Which I would have loved. You wouldn't have loved because you'd be obsolete.
You'd have a lot less money. Nobody'd be paying attention to you.
I would love college football to be the way it was supposed to. It used to be, but it's not anymore.
Not coming back.
How about we just add one more ball?
Yeah, add another ball.
And see what happens.
We're only at 46.
All right. There's a little ball. 29 has been added into 46.
Turn to page 75.
Have we discussed Penn State?
No, we have not.
Oh, fascinating. What a team. What a team to discuss.
Penn State, which is really just Iowa State under a different name, with Matt Campbell as its coach and about 40 players from Iowa State that joined over, whether they were commitments or holdovers. They get a schedule boost by avoiding the playoff trio and instead draw 5 of the bottom 7. The talent level is behind the league's super recruiters, but this favorable schedule keeps Penn State in the race for Indianapolis. They open with Marshall, then they're at Temple, and then they have Buffalo in the traditional Big Ten sense of not playing anyone. Then you get Wisconsin. They open the stadium at Northwestern, which will, I'm sure, be full of rowdy dorks. And then USC at Michigan bye week, Purdue at home, at Washington, Minnesota at home, Rutgers at home, at Maryland. That is a favorable schedule.
Oh, man. I don't know what's going to happen with
I don't
them
either.
this
I
year.
think they're going to be 7-5. They're going to lose games that people feel like they shouldn't lose. I think it's just I like Matt Campbell. I just have a tough time seeing this just immediately start with a 9-3 or a 10-2 season. Like, I just can't imagine it just goes that way. But I guess he is bringing a lot of his players.
Like, he's good, and what he did at Iowa State, he was viewed as, obviously, I mean, what Iowa State is going to be post Matt Campbell is a pretty ugly scene there, I think.
Definitely.
But, like, I just think they're just going to be Penn State. They're going to be Iowa State, but Penn State, like you said, which means I think they'll probably hang around 8-4, 9-3 in some years, and then they'll have some years where they go 5-7.
Yeah.
Like, I think they'll be basically a middle of the pack Big Ten team as long as they want to. And that's not a terrible place to be, but they have, sort of mixed in with the elites over the last 10 years now.
If you are right about the Wisconsin's that occurred at the end of last year, that September 26th game to open Big Ten play for both teams is really fascinating.
You're fading both teams. What do you see on September 26th?
I would give it to the home team, which is Penn State here. But I wouldn't feel like this. I would not bet it. I am compelled to watch it though. Like, it seems like it'd be a watchable game.
USC, Michigan, back-to-back, like you said. They go to Washington. They have a lighter finish. They could lose to Minnesota. They probably can't lose to Purdue. So, like, they have 3 baked in, probably 4 baked in wins on the Big Ten schedule,
It
which
feels like 4 conference wins
yeah,
at a minimum. So
there's
7-5 seems like it's their floor, but I don't know. I mean, Iowa State was prone to drop a random game every now and then too. So
I think 8-4, 9-3, and that it probably won't tell the entire story of the season given what their schedule is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about what's going to happen there. They will be one to watch. Campbell will be a popular guy next week in Chicago at Big Ten Media Days. That much is for sure. All right, those are our balls of steel this week. Good job, Penn State and Cal.
Fun.
I wonder what you guys will get over.
Who wins more games between those two teams? Penn State for you?
Yeah.
That's probably fair.
I think so.
That's probably.
You're definitely higher on Cal than you are on Penn
like
State.
Cal,
But relative to what they should be,
Sure.
maybe.
Yeah, I like Cal to be like an 8-win team.
Maybe
Penn
Cal.
State might be a 9-win.
Will you guys press the button and get out the tiny little balls over the next 2 days?
I will touch the tiny little balls. Well, actually, you don't
Awesome.
touch the tiny little balls. You touch the button.
There's a button in here.
You never actually touch the ball.
You'll see. It's like mildly difficult. It's so weird. It's the weirdest little thing.
All right, I'm
I've
looking
ever
forward to it.
All right, we'll take a quick time out. 7 o'clock hour is up next. Stick with us. Happer and Schaefer rolls on 1620 The Zone. 7 o'clock, Happer and Schaefer here on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer alongside Mike Schaefer, Joey Warcola with you. If you missed it yesterday, we'd like to tell you again, 1620 The Zone Golf Tournament. I don't know if the name is flexible or the branding on this stuff. Like, I don't know if we made t-shirts or whatever, but I suggested that we call this 1620 The Scramble. I just feel like that's what we've been doing. But here we are. So
I believe the name used to be 1620 Golf Flash.
Golf Flash, because they had like Sports Flash, but now this is more of an everybody tournament.
Yeah,
they had to include us. They had to hold our hands and say, "You guys are in this too." It's not just
gotta include the morning.
To be
show.
fair, it's a midday show that spearheaded this whole thing.
It was,
yeah. It was young Matt McMaster that took
They
it from a
should call it
kernel and made it the full popcorn.
1620 the Matt tournament.
There should be a 999 challenge involved somehow.
There should be. This is going to be his thing. He's going to have to do this like 6 times a year.
So
now.
is Matt running it? Is Matt the master of the golf tournament?
We'll have to ask him on the rules.
He is the McMaster of the golf tournament.
How many mulligans you could buy and things like that. But this is Friday, August 21st at Miracle Hill, which is going to have an 8:30 a.m. shotgun start, which means both our show and Matt's show will be broadcasting live from Miracle Hill, which is going to be awesome. $400 for a 4-player team, which once again, I think that's probably the best deal you're going to find for a scramble around here, point blank period. You could bring your A game on par 3s for your chance to take home $10,000 if you get a hole-in-one, sponsored by Langfelt Overhead Doors. The tournament itself is sponsored by Cutwater and T-Box. And then, of course, join us for the after party, where Unsportsmanlike Conduct will be from 2 to 6 at the Phoenix, right across the street on 120th and Blondo. Folks, 1620 The Scramble, as I am now referring to it as.
Yeah, we might want to clarify that, but I think that's a good idea.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt writes in, I would have participated in a 2-2-2 challenge spread over 9 innings. I think most people would. Although you would have to take the third 2 out of there because the third 2 refers to 9 innings.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
The 2-2 challenge is just a normal ballpark experience.
Or 3-3-3 or 3-3-9 or
he definitely did 3-3. Well, he did like 2, 2.5,
yeah,
9.
We didn't stay for 9.
We stayed for like
text
6 or 7.
Text from the 402. Depending on, I stayed a little bit longer. I think John stayed to the end. He was talking to those NASCAR guys forever.
Well,
they were talking cars.
They were getting in the pits.
Absolutely. Text from the 402. 9 beers, 9 dogs, 9 holes. McMaster's new challenge. Yeah, I think he's got to stay away from hot dogs for a little while.
Yeah.
At least I would,
especially the buns.
No doubt about it. All right. As we mentioned yesterday when Mitch joined us on the show, The Athletic came out with their college football quarterback tier rankings list. This is actually kind of stealing our bit a little bit. It is power rankings with tiers. They both rank the quarterbacks and tier them. And so I am forced to invoke litigation against The Athletic. So you'll expect something.
You are a legend. Who's got a better lawsuit right now?
Me. Nobody takes power rankings with tiers from me, and nobody's ever done it before me. So I am suing them, and you can expect something soon. Trinidad Chambliss is the number 1 quarterback, according to The Athletic, in the first tier. Here's your elite tier of quarterbacks. Trinidad Chambliss, Dante Moore, CJ Carr, Darian Mensah, Julian Sayin, don't say anything, Drew Mestamaker, Arch Manning, and Sam Levitt are in your top tier. You have to go down to number 39, to find Anthony Calandra. Dylan Raiola, for the record, was number 40 last year. And I remember the big hubbub, which was Dylan Raiola was number 40. How dare they? And he was behind Mark Gronowski. Super how dare they? Which all of that ended up aging fine for the Athletic last year. Yeah,
mostly.
He was
DJ Lagway, and anyone's top 10 was a disaster.
He definitely wasn't like an elite quarterback last year, and he definitely was worse than Mark Gronowski. So
no, he wasn't. He threw 18 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Gronowski had 10 touchdowns to 7. He ran for 16. Look, I think if Dylan plays out but if Dylan plays out the full year, I think they're comparable. I think them being next to each other, it's fine. I don't think he was worse than Gronowski.
I do, but
Okay.
but it was pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
I mean, yeah. There's the whole.
The way we
didn't
talk
finish
about
the year.
Dylan, like he didn't suck last year. The team wasn't particularly good. He had 18 touchdowns. Like he wasn't like bad. I don't get it. Like
he had 18 touchdowns, but like
he didn't play. He played.
all of them were
8.
in non-con.
Were they all in non-con?
It was like 12, I think.
Ooh,
It was it was a significant amount.
I was thinking most of them were in like the Maryland game, to be honest.
Yeah, a lot of that was Emmett. They did the screen pass to Hunter.
Game,
I think he had 3. Yeah,
but I think he was fine last year.
he was fine.
There's
was
just
not good.
so
He
much
was
of this, like, oh, Dylan was horrible. No, I don't think he was.
I don't think he was horrible.
Well, you weren't saying that. I hear that from a lot of people, like that he was the biggest issue with the team last year. I don't believe that was the case.
I am most certainly excited for a new quarterback.
Yeah, I think that's fair because of everything that comes around.
Yeah.
Like, I totally get that. I think on the field, he could have definitely been better. I have no doubt on that.
And I'm definitely more excited about a mobile quarterback, which Nebraska has this year. And I think that'll factor into the conversation that we're about to have. So Calandria is at 39 on this list, which is in tier 4. Here are all of the names. Well, I won't give you all of them because it's a pretty extensive list, but some of the names in tier 4 that you may know. Bryce Underwood, back for year number 2. He tops tier 4. You have Kenny Minchie. Remember Kenny Minchie?
What a Kenny Minchie era it was.
It was a great 3 days. And Wisconsin's quarterback, Colton Joseph, Avery Johnson, the K-State quarterback. Not Avery Johnson's Irish dad. Anthony Calandria, Caton Hauser from Illinois, DJ Lagway, Ethan Grunkmeyer, who went with James Franklin over to Virginia Tech, Bo Prabula.
So mostly transfer quarterbacks and Bryce Underwood.
So how it is described on the tier list on The Athletic in tier 4 is, where did that part of it go? It was basically like either established guys, journeymen, veteran guys who were kind of placeholders, like that type of thing. And that's basically where it is. So it was basically the mid tier without saying it's the mid tier, which I think is pretty accurate. Now, there's a lot of different guys from different backgrounds who can come from, spots like that. But my thing on it is this. You look at the tier above Anthony Calandria, tier 3. So you have guys like Damon Williams, Malik Washington, Devin Dampier. We'll see what happens with Rocco Beck this year. Nico Iamaliava, Lenora Sellers. He had a bad year last year. But think about those guys. And I think when I think about those guys, I think those guys are like elevators. Like, I think they make their teams better. And I think they, at certain points of the season, have the ability to kind of carry their teams. Not just because of how good they are, but also because of their dynamic ability. Like, think about Dampier and his ability to, Damon Williams. He's more of a runner than he even is a passer. And so I think by the time the season ends, or if you're doing this again next year, and hopefully you are, because hopefully Calandria is back for another year, that he needs to be at least in the group ahead of where he's at right now, if not even further up that list. And then I was thinking, you look at the list and you're like, well, there's not a lot of guys who are like first year starters at the schools that they're going to be at this year who are in the either elite tier or just off the elite tier. So some of this is just what we've seen and what we know. And you kind of run the quarterback game in 2-year cycles here a little bit. And Nebraska's on the first year of a 2-year cycle. And so
3 of the top 16, and they're all in situations that are unique, where it's like Drew Messmaker followed his coach.
Yep.
And Sam Levitt goes to LSU.
Mensa.
Oh, I forgot about Mensa. I forgot about Darian Mensa. And then
who's a well-established good quarterback.
And then Josh Hoover. So 4. So basically 25% of your top 16 did not carry over from the team that they were with. So kind of makes sense.
Yeah. And like you said, there's kind of extenuating circumstances on all of them. And so when you do this next year, you want to see Calandria be at least in the tier above where he's at right now. I certainly don't mind where he's put to start this year, because there's a question about him. There's a wonder about him for sure. And there's a wonder about Nebraska, obviously, as well. As we've said before, nobody's going to go out on a limb for Nebraska. It's kind of a fascinating list when I think you project the season and when you look at kind of what's ahead and what it could be like even going into next year, because we looked at the 25 list as well and sort of, look back in how the trends went on some of those guys, and it was kind of interesting too.
I have absolutely no complaints about where Calandria finds himself, the company that he's around, like that tier, as you were kind of going through it, like they fall into a couple different categories where a lot of it is guys that have transferred up from, ECU or Old Dominion, or in the case of Calandria, UNLV, and now they're playing in the Big Ten or a Power Four conference or what have you. So they're all grouped together, or their first year opportunities in Kenny Minchie. You got a guy in Will Hammond, that there's some upside there. So I think the company that he's in is completely fair. I think the larger point that you made about if he's back for next year, he needs to be up in the next year. Like that's where Connor Wiegman, after having a nice year at Houston, is at. Like Drake Lindsay, there's different styles of quarterbacks, but I think that's the sort of tier where if Nebraska has a quarterback in that grouping and the rest of the offense is solid enough, you've got the makings of a pretty decent operation.
Even guys that didn't have great years, but are back at their same school and resume play for year 2 or 3, even of being their school's starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys automatically shoot up the list because it's what you just have seen it.
Well,
happen.
Marcellus is a great example of it. He came down the list because he had such a great sophomore
but he's
year.
only in the top 20 because
right,
because he's at the same school again.
And he had,
if he goes somewhere
you saw
else,
the height of the sophomore year. The junior year was so bad, and it's like, okay, was it the injury? Was it,
but if he goes somewhere else, he's DJ Lagway.
Could be.
I think so. I just think continuity matters in this. And
he definitely could be. I could also see someone talking them because it's a guy that's rumored as a first-round pick. So I know. I think
but he was bad last year.
Lagway was too. Yeah. To your point, I didn't believe in Lenora Sellers last year. I still don't really believe in Lenora Sellers. It felt like it was I
was surprised he was as bad as he was last year.
Yeah, well, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. It's not. Yeah, definitely not getting it done.
And they had good receivers too.
No, South Carolina they have talent. They're like one of those weird teams where it feels like if the bottom comes out, it comes all the way out. And that could happen this year for Shane Beamer.
Disaster. Anyway, so there's the list. And so you mentioned something that I think is a good jumping off point for the quarterback conversation too. And this idea that, so we're talking about two different things, not only where he is in the list and the people who surround him on the list, like how he's thought of in college football, but then there is the how do you play part. And so I don't think that those mirror each other. I certainly don't mind the idea that he's number 39 on this list and he doesn't have these, huge expectations on him. However, as we talked about a little bit last week, Schaefer, you hope that he doesn't have to be Superman so often for Nebraska, but there are going to be times that he has to be Superman.
Sure.
He is going to be the center of Nebraska's offense. He needs to run for several hundred yards. He needs to pass for many touchdowns. He needs to pass for many yards. He is going to be the focal point of what they do. And I know, I'm just going to keep jamming that home because I know people, there's some people who talk about him he's got good playmakers around him and he's got a good offensive line and stuff like this. No, everywhere he's been, he is responsible for all of the production basically on offense. He's that type of player and needs to be that type of player in order to be as effective as he has been at his previous places. You can't turn him into something else. He's not going to be like a distributor point guard guy. That's what they would have had Kenny Minchie do, but that's not Anthony Calandria.
Yeah.
And so he needs to be good. And that's why we talk about the floor ceiling so often with him.
He needs to facilitate, but his version of facilitating isn't just like a 3-step drop, get the ball out to the first open guy you see. It's going to be, hey, if I make this guy miss, or if I can extend this play, I can find Ja'Cory Barney running, to the corner or whatever it is. So it's a really interesting deal because you don't have a running back theoretically that you're just going to be able to rely on. And as much as I like their wide receivers, I still don't know that I trust that any one of those guys is just absolutely going to beat a man in coverage when you need it, and it's going to be there. I don't know. Do you think they have a number one wide receiver, a straight up stud at receiver. I don't know that I feel that way.
I think that
Isaiah Hunter could be.
This is an area that I do think is improved by not having Dylan Raiola. Like, I think Anthony Calandra and his ability to extend plays. I mean, Dana Holgerson talked about this a lot in the spring. Like, to have those wide receivers kind of riff a little bit and those guys get on the same page and extend routes and extend like, I think that's going to help production.
I agree
for those receivers. How good are they? I am really confident in Hunter as a player.
Right.
And I think he'll have better production this year. So if you're asking me who their number one is, yeah, I think they do have a number one.
Yeah.
And I think I think those receivers get better with Calandria. I just do.
The one area where I'm most interested in is we know Calandria is willing to trust his arm, willing to trust his instincts. Will we see guys win 50-50 balls? Will we see guys win?
Gonna have to
when given opportunity, because they weren't really, other than the thrown out of bounds passes and the inside the 10-yard line that they like to run on the fades. They weren't really given those opportunities. So if they're able, and we've saw Hunter won a couple of them. I think the Cincinnati game comes to mind. We know that ability is there, but to do that over and over, are they going to have that opportunity? Are they going to be able to do that? I just don't know. I believe the talent is in the wide receiver room. I just feel like I need to see it happen repeatedly before I can really let myself think that they're.
I just think having their circumstances be a little bit different is
having
important.
someone who's going to give them that opportunity is the first step, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do something if no one ever throws you the ball. It's like Austin Allen. I love this quote because I think it just summarizes Scott Frost in Nebraska and all of it. He has this amazing catch in the back of the end zone against Minnesota in 2021. And it was the first time all year that Adrian Martinez had thrown a pass that crossed the end zone line to Austin Allen. And I asked him some sort of question, and he's like, I've been here all year. It's been there. We just haven't done it. And that's kind of what it is with maybe these wide receivers in Nebraska. They have the ability. They just didn't do it. Maybe we find out this
It's just an image of him standing in the back of the end zone going like this the entire year.
It's just,
he's 9 feet tall. How do you miss him?
there was like an incredible stat at one point in 2021 where Adrian had only thrown like 6 passes in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I remember that.
Gone across the end zone.
I remember that.
He had thrown touchdowns, but if someone catches it and runs it in.
Well, it was especially bad in 20, like when he got the job back in 20.
Yeah.
They were so conservative.
Yep.
I mean,
he had turnover issues that led to him losing the job.
And then he got scared.
Right.
And it was just a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point. Like, it literally went in a shell of itself.
Right. No,
over a span of 2 seasons. They wasted 2 seasons doing that. Great times.
Great time.
Awesome stuff. So yeah, I think it's okay that Calandria is where he is, but I do think he needs to have some upward mobility. Like he needs to be better than, like I said, it's hard to find an opinion out there about Nebraska or about Calandria because nobody knows one way or the other. I don't think many people are projecting them to be bad, and I don't think many people are projecting them to be good. He needs to be good this year. In order for Nebraska to be good, he needs to be good. And I don't feel like obviously that's always the case with your quarterback, but I do think it means more when you have a guy who is as responsible for the percentage of production that he's going to be this year.
So we talked with Mitch about this. I don't know if this is the direction we were planning on going, but it fascinates me when I was thinking about it as we were talking with Mitch about it. Zach Lee is like the only quarterback in the last 25 years I can think of where there hasn't been an expectation that he has to be a huge part of the offense. Like, it's just the quarterback position in Nebraska has almost always required the individual to not just be capable. They have to be like legitimately good. And then you look around the rest of the league of which they now play in the Big Ten, and that's not usually the case at a lot of these other schools. And
it's funny. I think what we're talking about there, for the most part, is styles, right? We're just talking about
how you build your roster, how you build your team.
That was the idea with Dylan, that he wasn't going to be like the center of everything. Obviously, he had to be good.
Well, whose idea was for that?
You're
certainly wasn't the people who brought him here.
Not Dylan's.
Not Papa Raiola.
And I think that was the idea with like Tanner Lee. too.
Kind of, yeah.
That he kind of is a distributor and a point guard.
But then,
and
you
blah,
know,
blah, blah.
Reggie needed to recruit running backs. But in fairness to Tanner Lee and Trey Bryant, he could have been really good. Degenerative knee issues are problematic as a running back.
Yeah, I heard the word chronic in there at the start of 2017. I was like, oh, that's not good.
He had 2 really good games.
He did.
And that was his career.
He did. But like those are the 2 non-mobile quarterbacks Nebraska's had over the last 15
Casey Thompson
years.
wasn't particularly mobile, but yeah.
And those are the guys who were expected to do those things. So I think that's basically the line that we're crossing over.
Well, a lot of it is just, you're right, the style. And then we go back to sort of the discussion of like what we thought Matt Rule was bringing or what we thought this might be. And, you know, his teams at Baylor, like Charlie Brewer wasn't the big deal. Like he was just when you said facilitate, that's what Charlie Brewer basically was. And then now we're back into superhero quarterback mode. And I kind of think that's limited Nebraska to some degrees.
That's funny because I like it definitely, you're definitely more beholden to how your quarterback performs.
Well, you need a lot of things to break your way with health and everything else too.
But I also think that's what Nebraska needs right now.
Yeah.
Like I think the offense needs
this year, the way they built their team.
The offense needs a spark with this team for sure. Like, and I, you know, as a college football fan, I just prefer mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it takes some of the responsibility off of the people around him if you have deficiencies in those areas. Like Taylor Martinez covered up a lot of crap for Nebraska, and Tommy Armstrong did at times too. And so, like, I just think the college game is such a quarterback centric thing, and I'm okay with putting it on that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like point blank period, you need your quarterback to be really good. And so empower him, you know, like Adrian, they took it too far with him. Like he all of a sudden became their fullback too. Like you don't need that.
Right.
But you do need him to give you, you know, 8 carries for 39 yards a game. Like, you know what I mean?
To have the ability like the run against Illinois, that you have that, you know, in your back pocket. Where the problem becomes is when he becomes your entire red zone offense. Like that was the issue with Adrian. You let him get beat up because you had no other way to score.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what you do.
Or you have Dedrick Mills and you're like, you know what, we're just going to run power with Adrian instead of giving the ball to our running back who's built for this.
And that's not Calandria, right? He's just smaller.
It just can't be.
Yeah. And given what we've seen from him at UNLV and Virginia, like he's an outside the pocket, like scramble runner, right? And because of that, he doesn't quite get squared up as much as Martinez. Broken jaw, messed up everything. You know, or was that lupus? I forgot.
Well, there was that. There was the ankles. Every year there was an ankle,
shoulder,
a lot of shoulders.
Yeah,
so that guy went through a lot.
In theory, Calandria stays healthier, but it only takes one.
Right.
But I'm okay with that setup. Like I want the quarterback to be the center of this particular offense. Yeah.
No, I mean it's all in the design of how you design your team, and what you want your offense to look like. And again, this isn't like some pitch to have a non-mobile quarterback. It's just to say Nebraska has been a quarterback-centric team for 25, 30, I mean, basically most of my lifetime.
Yeah.
Certainly when you're an option team, you have to be a quarterback-centric team.
Right.
But
like,
then when they moved away from that,
I would really like them to be a running back centric team. Like that'd be pretty sick. I'd like them to have one really awesome wide receiver, but you know, they haven't had that really either. Sorry, Nate Swift, you know,
and Trey Palmer
and Kenny Bell.
Morgan,
yeah. John writes in, Tanner Lee was a great distributor. There are few who have thrown it to so many players on the other team. Thank you, John.
He did distribute.
We had a text earlier from Gus Mohawk that I wanted to get to.
Okay.
And I will ask you that, Schaefer, when we come back. We have plenty of things left to cover. Stay tuned. 402-951-1620 is the number to get in touch with the show. Also tweet at us at the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed at Happen Schaefer. Be right back on 1620 The Zone. Have you heard the latest on LeBron James?
Yes.
So yesterday, the Miami Heat scheduled a video on their YouTube that was titled LeBron James Introductory Press Conference, and it was scheduled for next Tuesday.
Oh, boy.
And people immediately saw that and screenshotted it and put it out there, and they deleted it. Now the Heat have released a statement and said the link was mistakenly published while preparing for a possible James sighting. There's your LeBron.
It just happens to be on July 27th.
It just happens to be on July 27th.
Yeah.
That's LeBron drama. LeBronma.
Yeah, so I just deleted that from Free Ballin', so we won't be discussing
dang
that
it.
today.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. Do you think there's really anything to this? Do you think it's the 76ers?
I actually kind of do think it's possible.
Yeah. There was a Pat Riley interview yesterday. He talked about it. They did add Giannis, who Joey hated.
For the record, I did not want him. For the record, I did not want him.
Would you have wanted Giannis if LeBron came along with it?
No, I don't want an old man ruining the chemistry on that team.
You don't want LeBron and Giannis on the same team?
Joey is the strangest basketball
LeBron
fan
doesn't
I've
like the
ever
Celtics. LeBron and the Celtics.
Let's just say in this world he does.
Weren't the Celtics on his list?
I think
bottom of the list.
Everyone was on
Okay,
his
but if
list,
they had
right?
Giannis instead of Paul George, do you think they would have been higher on the list?
I mean, for LeBron, it would be higher on his list, but I don't think he wants to be in Boston in general just because of the fans.
Let's just say he
The
does.
racism, the latent racism.
Yeah.
Let's just say he does, though, Joey. Like, you would not be accepting of a LeBron Giannis.
No,
team.
because look at what happened with the Lakers since joining them. They had that Mickey Mouse title, but since then they were expected to compete for a championship.
They also didn't have Giannis.
Yeah, they got Luka Doncic.
Giannis, who won the next title, it should be pointed out.
Yeah, and what happened since then?
So if you think about it, Giannis
dealing with injuries,
and LeBron have more titles than Tatum.
That is true.
Okay,
that is true. Like LeBron post 2020, even.
How many conference finals has
Joey
LeBron? How many?
Joey hates the Celtics season right now.
How many conference finals, NBA finals did LeBron and Giannis have since
Joey?
2021?
Let's get to the real point here about your Celtics. Your boy Baylor Shireman is in town. He's working out
again.
Oh yeah, he's working.
I'm happy to hear that.
He's training. He's getting
Does he
ready
live
to go.
here in the off season?
He does. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he's getting ready to go, and he's going to be. It doesn't matter because they kept Baylor. They kept Baylor Shireman.
Did he introduce himself to the Frenchman yesterday?
No, he wasn't. He worked out before the Creighton workout.
Okay, all right.
I talked to the guy who was working out.
It would have been pretty great if you get the Greg McDermott. I used to coach this team, followed by Baylor Sherman. I used to play for this team.
Now
I'm with the Celtics.
Now I play for the Boston
You might know
Celtics.
me. I play with this Hugo guy. He's going to be huge.
That's true. Not Jason Tatum, the Hugo guy.
Everyone knows Hugo.
Here's the question that came in from Gus Mohawk on the text line. I'm directing this at you, Mike Schaefer. If you could interview 2 Big Ten coaches and only 2 at Big Ten Media Days, which ones are you picking and why?
Like one-on-one interviews?
Yes.
Like I don't have to deal with everybody else?
Correct.
Do they have to answer my questions?
Let's just say, they have truth serum. They have truth serum interviews.
To clarify, I'm not asking things that are like salacious or whatever. It's just, I'd want legitimate answers and not
real
blow off.
Human conversation.
Okay. 2 coaches, Big Ten Media Days. I mean, does one of them have to be Matt Rule?
No. Let's just say one of them is definitely not Matt Rule.
Okay. Well, there's only one Matt Rule, so one of them would definitely not be Matt Rule.
Let's just say that
neither of them
can't
are
be Matt Rule.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sorry.
I had to think about that.
It's kind of confusing the way I worded that.
Okay. Man.
You want to talk to? Who
I
is
would
interesting?
I would love to pick Dan Lanning's brain about like how close they think they actually are, what has gone wrong when they've been blown out in the college football playoff. Why or the sort of thinking of bringing in Dylan Raiola as they did it, because I'm pretty sure they knew that Moore was coming back. So Dan Lanning is one. So Dan Lanning's one.
Is an interesting character for sure. I have one that I think you would probably. Well, let me bounce this off you. What do you think Kyle Whittingham has to say?
So he crossed. Yeah. Here's how my brain. So after I asked the initial question, the first one I thought of was Ferentz. I was like, what do I actually throw past on that? Yeah. Then I went to Whittingham and I was like, all right, I have some questions about what all went down at Utah. I would love for him to truthfully answer how he feels about Bryce Underwood, but that would be a weird question to answer, before your season plays. There's some smoke coming out of Ann Arbor that Bryce Underwood may not be a great fit for Kyle Whittingham. So that's something to keep an eye on.
Interesting.
So he definitely came to mind. Cignetti comes to mind, but I feel like there's been a lot of Cignetti stuff, and I don't have like new ground to cover there.
The Cignetti one is only interesting. I mean, it's interesting for a variety of different reasons, but like, I feel like people are interviewing Cignetti these days to like he's weird because he's taken on this sort of like mythical status. Right. Like you want to just get close to him to see the things he does, to see if there's any magic in there.
Can I follow you?
Yeah, seriously. I feel like that's the role that he's taken on in college football at this point. Like everything he says and does turns into, oh my God, it's like Warren Buffett in investment strategies. Like it is. It's like, what is he doing? I want to do exactly that.
So you're saying like eventually there's going to be a social media post of someone saying that every day Kurt Cignetti has $3.23
100%
and determines whether he's going to get one sausage biscuit and a drink or
look at what
two sausage biscuits and a drink.
Look at how it blew up with the stuff he said about how long they practice.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
no, I mean, people are always fascinated by people they consider to be disruptors, and he's certainly a disruptor. Okay, I'm stalling because I don't have a great second. Dan Lanning felt like a very obvious one. I don't really care that much about what's happening at Washington with Jed Fish, so that's kind of out.
He's not particularly interesting.
Lincoln Riley's up there because it's like, how much pressure do you feel? Like, does it have to happen this year? Do you have an escape hatch? Like, what the hell went wrong with your brisket? Like those would sort of be
really.
I think you could have a really good
paper
if Lincoln Riley was willing to answer questions and talk about everything that kind of led to him leaving Oklahoma, going to USC.
Like I said, let's just say truth serum interview. Right. Like you get it all.
It's weird to think that the two coaches I think I'm ultimately picking are coming from the western part, but both of those teams fascinate me in Oregon and USC.
Yeah.
They both have kind of a like, this feels like a pivotal year for them sort of thing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of those who fit in that category. I mean, we talked about a variety of different ones.
But Ryan Day, I'm not that interested. I don't have any questions for.
It'd almost be easier to do like who doesn't interest you, and you could just lop off like
Barry Odom.
You could lop off Purdue. You could lop off Maryland, Rutgers, automatically out of them. But other than that.
Ferentz is probably because there's just nothing new to tread there.
But we just went through all those names. I'd add on Whittingham. I'd add on Fickle. I'd add on
Fleck.
Matt Campbell. I'd add a PJ Fleck. Like they're all like, ooh, there's Pat Fitzgerald.
Oh, man, I might have missed one there.
Your boy David Braun, who I don't really care
David Braun.
about.
I don't really have anything I need to ask David.
So
Braun
lop him off too.
He's like lopped.
5 guys, so 13 coaches are like, that's all interesting.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of interest.
Bob Chesney, do we care?
Nope. Get him out of there. 12. We're down to 12.
Okay.
12 interesting coaches.
I think that's fair. I don't know that there's any more that I'm doing any lopping of.
Here's a follow-up from the 308. What Big Ten football coach are you smashing beers with? This is from Tony.
Okay, who do I want to drink beers with amongst Big Ten?
Dan Lanning seems like he's into drugs, but yeah.
So I know some people that knew and remained close with Dan Lanning from his time as an assistant coach in the Kansas City suburbs of high school. They speak very highly of him. He also sounds like he could put away beers, so he seems like someone that you'd be able to get drinks with. I kind of would just let Bielema hold court.
He's definitely one. Like, it's funny. I feel like we'll do this probably next week.
I kind of want to talk to Brett Bielema about how, at what point he knew they were going to smash Nebraska in the 2012 Big Ten Championship. Like, at what point in the week? Was it Tuesday when it was like, hey, they never moved their safeties down, so we just do this and this were going to have an advantage the entire
Also,
game.
there was the mental thing of like Nebraska had beat them
Once.
earlier in the year, and it was
Yeah.
like we got them. Even though we're 7-5, we got them. I remember. So this is a great topic for the start of like next week. We'll try and remember this. Joey, maybe get the sheet out here.
Memory bank.
Big Ten coaches drink of choice, basically like parties, like prior to next week before Big Ten media days. I remember at one of the media days, I can't remember which one, and it was probably early Frost era. I saw at the hotel bar, which not all the coaches drink at the hotel bar. Some of the coaches drink on their own in their rooms. Some of the coaches go to the ball game.
Some of the athletic directors try to drink from the tiny little bar in their room, and the private investigator finds out about it.
That happens sometimes. But hotel bar, Mark D'Antonio has I swear to God, it was a white suit, like not like patino white, but cream.
Okay.
You know? Like he comes down and he's drinking a glass of red wine.
Okay.
And I'm like, whoa, this guy that's a different life than I'm.
How many of the
Meanwhile, Frost came downstairs and he was wearing one of those Nebraska Republic short sleeve t-shirts. He's like, come on, Davison, let's go to the Cubs game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he was at the Cubs game in that shirt. I remember that.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of the Big Ten coaches drink wine. Like their go-to alcohol, their first choice would be a glass of wine. We may have
gotten past some of the wine.
Like, it's got to be predominantly beer drinking or harder alcohol at this point, right?
Because we just mentioned it yesterday. We got some younger coaches.
Yeah. Greg Schiano seems like he might want a glass of wine.
Absolutely.
With his spaghetti.
Absolutely. We may have moved past the wine era.
Okay.
Ferentz,
what do you think Lincoln Riley drinks?
Like whiskey neat?
I was thinking scotch. So we're in the same category there.
Yeah.
He seems like he would pass. I don't know why. He doesn't seem like he'd drink beer.
There's probably this is what we're gonna do. Like there's like some light beer guys. There's some wine guys. All right, we'll do that for sure at the start of next week. So there's the answer to your question. We're gonna get to some baseball topics. We will do that as we go on throughout the show today. Like we said, always want to hear from you guys. You can email in the Equitable Bank inbox. Connor, Mike, or Joey at 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. Let's take a quick break here. We'll get to Joey's headlines when we return on 1620 The Zone. All right, welcome back. Happer and Schaefer here on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. The road to Wrigley still rocking and rolling. In fact, it's not a road. It's like a road in the sky. It's brought to you by Union Bank and Trust because we're going to send you to Nebraska and Missouri at Wrigley Field. This is volleyball, by the way. Omaha to Chicago, hopefully Midway. 2-night hotel stay in downtown Chicago and a $150 gift card for the winner to use for whatever they please. The road to Wrigley, presented by Union Bank and Trust at UBT. People don't have your money has people. Member FDIC. Jump on 1620thezone.com right now to get involved in that action. Joey, what do we got today?
Headline number 1. Man spent 8 hours in porta potty tank retrieving Mountain Dew bottle, company says.
Yeah, this is the Kansas City guy, right?
Yeah, it is.
I remember seeing about
I've
this.
seen the videos. Yeah, it's disturbing. Disturbing videos.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are very bad. And
Headline number 2. Conan O'Brien baffles fans by ditching his signature hairstyle. Did he lose a bet?
that's going to be a click.
Yeah, I want to know what the hair is.
I do too.
Joey was surprised by this.
Conan O'Brien he apparently has changed his hairstyle. This is from page 6. Conan O'Brien's signature pompadour was nowhere to be found during his latest podcast episode, and viewers are baffled. Quote, "We all clicked for the hair, and there's just no explanation," one fan asked in the YouTube comments of the Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend interview with Molly Shannon this week. He is 63 years old. His hair, notably, was slicked back instead of its usual towering wave on Monday, with many dubbing O'Brien Greaser Conan. He's turned into Greaser Conan. Now, you can't tell because you're not looking at the pictures, people who are listening to the show. Like, there does appear to be some receding of the hairline here, which I would imagine causes the thinning out, which I would imagine like the big poof at the top, like at a certain point, that's no longer doable.
Sure.
You got to slick it back a little bit.
Comes for all of us. Well, not all of us.
Some speculated that the jump scare look was the Emmy winner's after shower transformation, while others compared O'Brien to an actor auditioning for the Irish spin-off series of The Sopranos. One social media user asked, "Why does he look like I'm about to be sold a used Kia Sorento?"
Yeah, that made me laugh.
While many expected a dedicated segment about Conan's hair and questioned whether he lost a bet, nobody said a word during Shannon's sit-down. Instead, O'Brien chatted amiably with the Saturday Night Live alum, who is 61. She's no longer 50. 61, about her time on the show. Her Hawk series on Netflix with Will Ferrell. Oh, she's in that show and more. Of course, I've never listened to this podcast. I've only heard that one clip that gets used all the time where Jim Downey was on there talking about how Jeff Epstein was a New York financier.
Oh, man.
The greatest clip of all time.
This is,
Jeff Epstein, the New York financier.
Do you think Conan has to come back with the hair now, or does he just try to style it different every time? I think he should lean into it.
I think it's a great bit. This is like that one day I was wearing my hat differently for the YouTube comment.
Love that.
That was great. I think you're doing. He kind of looks like non-bald Walter White. He's got this jacket going on.
Oh, okay.
This is very.
I see it.
Yeah,
I see it. Particularly in the would be the second photo, third photo, I guess.
Yeah.
If you would.
New Conan. I like this. Slick back Conan.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I'm very good with this. Absolutely. I think he should keep it going.
Were you a big Conan guy?
Not like a big Conan guy, but I've always liked Conan.
Yeah, I've liked Conan. I've never gone out of my way to like watch Conan.
People,
if it's on or clips are on.
He was my first follow on Twitter.
Okay.
Wow. We were going back on our first
Wow.
Twitter follows. He was the guy.
There are
He was my favorite
definitely
show.
definitely some Conan people, like some Conan guys. It's Conan
No
stands,
doubt about it.
if
Yeah.
you will.
He's definitely got stands. My favorite version of Conan is when this is true of almost anything. When Norm Macdonald was a guest and would basically either tell stories or make them laugh, or Conan would try to get him to explain why he enunciates and says things the way that he does, and Norm just wouldn't go along with it.
Yeah.
And then there's an amazing one where it's Norm with the guest star of that show was like Courtney Thorne Smith or something, and she was in a Carrot Top movie, and Norm is just destroying the movie that she is on to help promote.
Sure.
And like
Oh,
Conan just gives up, like he's trying to help out, and he just quits. Just leaves her to just be unfortunately destroyed as Norm just,
At a certain
does
point,
Norm
you're
stuff.
just like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to
There's
let
also
Norm
that
be
time-
Norm.
The best.
There was also that time they were cooking some food with Gordon Ramsay as well. And
Norm Macdonald and Conan?
Yeah, Norm.
Ooh, I got to see
Norm-
that.
I don't know
Yeah,
that clip.
Yeah, they were cooking something with Gordon Ramsay, some quick dessert meal or
Awesome.
something.
That
It's out
great.
there.
Matthew writes on YouTube, he says, people don't seem to grasp the idea of famous people aging. No, they don't, because many of them just choose not to by getting work done.
I
And
appreciate the famous people who allow themselves to age.
me too. People are giving much credit to Matt Damon these days for not
For looking old.
for looking like a normal person. Yeah.
Good for Matt Damon.
Good job by Matt Damon. All right, we'll take a break here. Thank you, Joey, for the headlines. We'll come back in the 8 o'clock hour is on the horizon on 1620 The Zone.
Howdy, everybody. Howdy, County here.
All right, 8 o'clock. Here on Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, the Zone Radio Network. Connor Happer, Mike Schaefer, and Joey Warcola with you here on this Wednesday. Did you see that Nebraska? Go ahead. Yeah, hit it.
No, I haven't seen that.
I figured that you hadn't. The Royal U, I suppose. Nebraska planted corn outside of the Tom Osborne Legacy Complex. Corn.
I was unaware
in the
of this.
city.
Is it so that the broadcasters can have corn when they show Memorial Stadium without having to leave Lincoln to make it seem like there's just corn there?
Oh, probably.
Just so they can have literal corn right there.
And then people wouldn't have to be offended that they had to go out into the country. They
Right.
could see it all in one cityscape shot. That is an interesting
Or-
perspective.
Is it so the recruits that come in and say they didn't see a cornfield anywhere when they get to Lincoln, they'll
Not
get to
true.
see a cornfield?
Not true.
Will it be the home of future recruiting photo shoots for official visits?
Is this something that Iowa has already done? Nebraska's finding another reason to think about the
How
Hawkeyes?
dare you, Joey? Nebraska would
doubt
never
it.
copy anything off of Iowa.
I don't even know if Iowa has official visits anymore.
Do they have corn? Who knows?
They have corn.
They
Iowa
got rid
definitely
of.
has
They got
corn.
rid of their water tower. Iowa did. You
Not
see that?
Tiffin's.
Not Tiffin's water
Oh,
tower.
thank
The Hawkeye water tower.
No, I didn't know that.
Gone
Why?
because they don't need it anymore because they have a different water tower.
Oh, okay.
Or a different water facility of some sort to give the University of Iowa water.
This is a really weird question.
Awesome.
What was your relationship to, like, did you, when you were in cars, did you care about seeing water towers when you were a kid? Like, did that mean anything to you?
Definitely when you go to Dakota Dunes, South Dakota, just to do a photo shoot. You
'Cause,
just
like-
do a
Whoa.
3-hour round trip, and
Who goes to Dakota Dunes to do a photo shoot?
unfortunately, this guy was a part of those trips.
What trips?
We did random day trip, just go up to Dakota Dunes, South Dakota, just cross the river from Sioux City. Just
Your family?
particular fam,
Okay.
What was in Dakota Dunes?
just the water tower.
Okay. Well,
then you just-
someone who
we-
drove by Dakota Dunes every time I went to South Dakota State or anytime I go to Sioux Falls or anytime I'm really in that area.
This was also a thing.
There's like a golf course.
This was also a thing going down to Omaha, Arkansas, just across the border from Branson, Missouri.
So you just go there and come back. That's it.
Basically, the Dakota Dunes, that was like a day trip thing. I think we also did Sergeant's
Did you
Bluff.
get out and do anything?
We did Sergeant's Bluff, but it was like a day
Okay.
trip, like during summer vacation. This was a long time ago.
So you just drive. You just spend like 6 hours in a car, and that's it.
3 hours, I would say, because it's not that far.
Okay.
Taking Highway 75.
Yeah,
to
I mean, it's about an hour and
South
40
Sioux-
minutes
South
to get
Sioux
to
City. Yeah,
I mean, Omaha,
take
Missouri, or whatever you're saying is though. Omaha, Arkansas.
That'd be a longer trip.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That was when I was at Branson for vacation. We just randomly drove down to Omaha, Arkansas.
Just so you could say you've been to Omaha, Arkansas.
I guess that was the first time I was in Arkansas before I went to Fayetteville for when the Mavericks played the Razorbacks for an early March baseball game, which was 80 degrees outside.
Now, I
That
have
was
never taken a road trip just to see a water tower.
Same.
But I will next week. I will drive by the Tiffin Water Tower as I yearly do, and I
Thanks.
will send you a picture.
Thank
Or
you.
if you want something to do, just go to Dakota Dunes and just stand.
I'm
in front of the
not
water
going to go
tower.
to Dakota Dunes and go to the water tower.
I have more questions I'll save for off air.
My
Yeah.
relationship with water towers.
Good idea, Schaefer.
I don't really have one.
So the reason I asked this, like growing up in a smaller community, the water tower is like you would see it, and that names the community. So when I was younger, and you'd be driving around Nebraska, and you'd be going to Norfolk.
I got
or
one.
Neely,
I got
or
one.
like you would
York.
sort of like get to know. Yeah, York is
York. The York
Uh,
you see
balloon.
it on the interstate.
Yes.
yeah.
Adair, is it Adair on I-80 between Omaha and Council Bluffs?
Yes,
Or
I believe
Des
that's
Moines?
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some places
75.
in Nebraska like really decorate their water tower. And so it's like a sense of their community or whatever
Okay.
it is. And so that's the reason I asked, because you live in a place in Omaha where, like, I don't even know.
I don't give a rip about no water towers. I'm a
but
city
in smaller
boy.
communities, they're like a thing.
That's true.
And then people like Chris Whitney, if you're,
Is there like a water tower contest?
I don't know. There might be. I don't know. I've never heard of that. But like someone like Chris Whitney made it his mission to see every water tower and photograph every water tower in Nebraska.
Best water towers in Nebraska. All right. NebraskaLifeMagazine.com. Tanks
See,
with tails.
I knew it was a weird question, and I knew the look that I got, because I understand you didn't grow up in a place where like water towers would stand out.
I most certainly did not.
But in smaller communities, they do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
One, because they're the largest thing.
They do a thing called Tank of the Year, which they
Tank of the Year.
Yes. So they
who won Tank of the Year last year?
I'm trying to see if there was a winner.
I mean, it's got to be York every year, right? That's got to be the best water tower we got. The hot air balloon.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly stands out. I don't know if it's the best. I can't speak for all of the water towers.
It's the best.
2025 Tank of the Year winner is the Downtown Water Tower in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, I don't care about other states. I just care about Nebraska's water tower. What's the Fargo water tower look like?
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
There is a song.
Oh, that's a pretty neat design.
Okay, what's it? Can you describe it?
It's blue, yellow. It's got Fargo in cursive. I think it's got like a city skyline like designed into the water tower.
That's cool. That's cool.
A lot of the smaller towns, if they
Also
only have
send
like
you-
one high school, will have the high school mascot drawn up on the water
That's
tower.
dope. Yep.
Things like that.
Rob writes in. He says, "I'm from Ogallala, and our water tower is painted like an alien spaceship. Is this true? They have to be. Oh, yes. Look at this. It's on tankswithtails.com, NebraskaLife.com. UFO water tower off Big Mac Road in Ogallala. If you're driving I-80 near Ogallala after dark, you might have to do
Good
a
job,
double
Connor.
take.
Yeah, with the green border or whatever you want to call it.
How
stripe.
about that? Cool. Camp Indianola is another famous one in Nebraska, a mile and a half north of Indianola. And Oshkosh, the historic Oshkosh Water Tower. Oshkosh is 105-year-old tin-man water tower. It was slated for demolition in 2018. Did it ever get demolished? It ceased operating. But did it ever get demolished? I guess that is the question.
So when we do
Thank you, Tanks with Tails.
So when we do City of the Day, do we incorporate the water towers now into?
I don't know if it's
That
as
is
big.
good.
I don't know if water towers are a big deal other places. I don't know that
If we
they're
do
a
a
big
small
deal.
town, then we
It's just
got
one of
to
these things that you notice, like not growing up in Omaha. So again, that's why I was like,
Elkhorn Water Tower.
"What's your relate?" Yeah, I
Since
guess
I'm
that
a
would be-
resident of Elkhorn now, I probably have to love the Elkhorn Water Tower.
Does Waterloo have a water tower?
We have
Yeah,
a
they do.
we have a
I feel
Millard
like I remember seeing that when I was a kid.
water towers in Omaha. We have Elkhorn, we have Millard, we have Gretna, we have
Yeah, Millard's prominent.
Do we have a Bellevue Water Tower?
There's-
I don't know.
There's a Boys Town water tower. As
Boys
well.
Town. Yep. Do we have a Bennington Water Tower? Schaefer, you got to know this.
I don't think so. Not off the top
I'm
of my
taking a
head,
look.
anyways.
Yep.
There claims to be.
Yeah,
one.
there is. I see a picture. It's just a generic with Bennington on it.
Awesome.
Very generic.
I wonder how tall.
I'm in
the-
fake Bennington, so I don't really. Think
yeah,
I
I'm
would
in
see
fake
it.
Elkhorn. So we're posers.
We really are.
Giant posers. I wonder how tall this corn will get outside of the Tom Osborne Legacy Complex before, like when it, because there's going to be some pictures out there. Like you said, the recruits are going to visit, but they just planted it now. It's going to be way behind of when the actual harvest is. Like it's not. I mean, it's
Is
way
this
low.
planted to be at a specific point in October or something.
Like that's my thought in my head. It's going to be at a certain point by a certain day.
Yeah.
So it is, photograph. I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens with the corn.
It feels like this is being set up for some sort of photo shoot involving alternate jerseys for the Halloween game. This is a prediction.
It's a great prediction.
All right, I'm writing
I
it.
also wonder if there's some sort of like social media stuff of Herbie Husker husking the corn.
Definitely. They're going to pick that corn off
Yeah.
of there. Then the question is, like, are they going to be able to keep the corn? Like, they have to have security for the corn that actually is the fruit of this plant.
Corn security guards?
I would think so. There people are going to come pick the corn off there all day long.
Wow.
There's not unlimited corn coming off these corn plants.
Do you think, is it like a Buckingham Palace thing where they have, a guard
Live guards all the
and
time.
they just stand there
24/7.
They never react and do anything?
Absolutely. I think you need that.
That'd be a good idea.
Sean Callahan tweeted this yesterday. And then he added,
Would you want to be on the corn guard? Poll question.
I wouldn't because I'd
wouldn't
get bored really quickly, but I think it needs to happen. He added more on the corn. It was planted later than normal this year because of the construction schedule. Expect it to be planted much earlier in future years. Tailoring Landscaping handled the refreshed landscaping outside of the Osborne Legacy Complex this summer. And he added, Sean did, they did an outstanding job. Nice job, landscapers. And shout out to corn. I've always said that Nebraska needs to lean more into their corn reputation. And they sort of have in recent years. There's been more references to corn.
Are you one of the people that get sort of annoyed when it's just been shortened to Huskers and not Corn Huskers?
I am not.
There are people that get very upset about that.
I am not annoyed by that.
I would get occasionally early in my career emails or messages from people that are like, you need to say Corn Huskers more.
That is
you
so
always do
weird.
it on the first reference and then you can drop it to Huskers after that. That would be the AP style of it.
Yeah.
And I would just get like, you should do Corn Huskers throughout. Celebrate the actual name. It's like, okay.
There are people that I have heard this before.
Yeah. No,
It's very weird. Why do people do that?
people, they just have strong opinions on everything. For instance, I just made us do 10 minutes of radio on water tower.
But like that would be, so the equivalent of that for Creighton, like would be, why do you say Jays all the time? You should be saying Blue Jays.
Right.
Nobody in their right mind would ever have a problem with that, right?
I don't know why they would.
Exactly.
I think that one of the most common things in sports is shortening a name.
People should
You know?
have problems with the word J-skers.
That is
Imagine if they said "Go Packers Go." It's already a terrible song.
Uh-huh.
Now it's even wordier and crappier.
It
It's
would
not
be.
as horrible as that horn sound
The horn sound.
and that stupid
great.
clap they do leading up to the game. Where they who
Come
are
on,
they?
Joey. You
who
love
are-
the
who
you
are they
love the
try-
clap.
Who are they trying to be? Norway?
Joey,
No, it'd be Iceland, Joey. If you're gonna mock them, you should at least get that. right.
Joey, come on. You admit it. You love
Just
that.
sit there
You
with the
love
cheese on your
clap.
head.
I do not like
accept
that
it.
stupid clap.
It's a great clap. You want to join in right now? I can
No,
see it.
I do
I can
not.
see your arms are starting to try to move. You're having a fight a little bit.
I will mock it when the Packers beat the Vikings in Week 1 of the 2026 NFL season.
All right. Well, what are you going to do when they don't?
In front of Schaefer's eyes.
Oh no!
John writes in.
I won't be back. You won't
Uh,
even get to talk to me after that game.
No, I'll save it up for the Tuesday show.
Be Thursday.
F3
Good to know.
Walleye says roll Crimson Tide or roll Tide. Roll Tide, right?
Roll Crimson Tide.
Roll Crimson Tide. No, Legend, who broke into SEC Media Days, is saying roll Tide. He's not saying roll Crimson Tide. It'd be a weirdo if you said that. Wow, nobody writes in on YouTube calling us Huskers as shorthand is just laziness. But what do you say then about the people who shorten it, like Matthew said, to Skurs?
Which I
Those
do
people
and
have to
done.
be boiling mad. The Cornhuskers people, if someone is around a Cornhuskers person and you said Skurs, they'd probably jack you right in the face.
This is like right up there with the people who get mad about NU because it's not actually NU. It's
I
not
know.
Nebraska University.
Yeah, people got to find better stuff to care about.
Well, that's true.
That's my personal.
Undoubtedly true.
With that being said, we did just talk about how they planted 3 rows of corn in front of the.
I think that's important.
It's very important. You're right. You're right. Let's do some baseball stuff here, Schaefer.
Let's do it.
Before we get to our dear friend Sam McEwen here in just a couple minutes. Another proposal. Well, just to shorten this real quick, we'll tell you what the details of the proposal are. But before we do that, we'll tell you that there will be a lockout.
Everything that follows is immediately useless.
They put the schedule out for 2027, and the responses to everybody putting their schedule out was, well, this isn't going to be real.
Did they put the schedule out or they just put out the first week?
No, they
or
put
the
out
first-
everyone's schedule.
Oh, I
for
didn't
next
know
year.
that.
Yeah,
I totally
Kind of
missed it.
strange to do it when you're still in the season.
that's what they always do.
Normally it's in August. They're getting earlier with it these days.
They put the schedule out, and
basically now there will be a season next year. They will play baseball next year. I'm almost positive of that. But how much baseball will ultimately be the question, because there will be a lockout. The Players Union made its proposal for the domestic draft yesterday, one that runs in stark contrast to what Major League Baseball's owners proposed in bargaining last month. 30 days after the league proposed cutting the draft from 20 to 12 rounds, slashing amateur signing bonuses by more than $150 million, and preventing high school players from entering, the Players Association called to preserve the current system while also opening more doors to younger players. The PA proposed not only to maintain draft eligibility for high school and junior college baseball players, but also for those from four-year universities to be eligible after their sophomore years, regardless of age. College sophomores are currently only eligible if they are at least 21 years old by August 1 of their draft year. There's also a lot of money in the signing bonus pool system and all these different things. So basically, anytime anybody comes through with a proposal, well, actually, the mechanics of this are like this. The owners put out a crazy proposal. The players put out the exact opposite. And then there's a new subject next time there's public negotiations going on with this thing. So that's the current cycle we're in. It's great.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I enjoyed the latest one with the MLB Players Association basically being like, we think the draft is fine. In fact, we actually think anyone that is a sophomore anywhere should be eligible for the Major League Baseball.
That's right.
Doesn't even feel like they care about it. It just feels like they're thumbing their nose at the proposal from Major League Baseball, which wanted to cut 8 rounds out.
The Players Association
cut
said,
bonus pools
they said,
down.
check this out.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Basically.
And they're all trying to find their next
Shohei Ohtani.
All right, thank you. Great. We're going to miss the start of next season. So if you're planning on going to any baseball games in April next year, just cancel them right now. That's probably your best off doing that. There was another baseball story that I saw yesterday that was, I think, mostly funny. So there's a story in The Athletic with the headline, "The Angels fired the baseball spy." Have you heard about the baseball spy?
I haven't.
So the Angels have a pro scout who was going around, and a pro scout goes to other major league games and, scouts other players for potential trades and then advanced scouting for your own team and things of that nature. What this man was doing, his name is Justin Boomer Prinstein. He had been hired by the Angels in December. He went to a Rockies series in early June, not involving the Angels, obviously, who he worked for, and started filming or recording the coaches and trying to steal signs. Obviously, this was reported immediately. He was fired immediately by the Angels, and it is really unclear why he was doing this or what he was trying to do. Once again, this guy was hired in December. Prinstein according to The Athletic, did not respond to multiple interview requests via phone call, text, email, and social media accounts. The 42-year-old who owns the handle @TheBaseballSpy on X locked the account following The Athletic's attempt to speak with them on Friday. So basically, he was telling everybody that he was doing this. And I don't know why he was trying to steal whatever he was trying to steal from the Rockies.
Steal stuff from the Rockies.
Also, it's the Angels. They're not good. It's very odd. The Angels added Prinstein's position this season. According to the team's media guide, the club employed 5 pro scouts in 2025, but 6 in 2026. Before his time with the Angels, Prinstein last worked for an MLB club in 2023 as an international scout with the Reds. Before that, he wrote freelance articles and had a short-lived podcast called The Baseball Spy. The show had 2 episodes on iTunes, one of which talked about the Astros sign-stealing scandal that rocked baseball in November of 2019. Prinstein explicitly discussed the ban on recording technology, agreeing with his co-host that there was a huge difference between trying to steal signs legally with our eyes and Houston using a live camera feed and an audio cue to relay signs to players. So he talked about how stealing signs with technology was bad, and then called himself the baseball spy and started recording other people in other dugouts and got hired by the Angels. This is so weird. This is the weirdest story.
I enjoy the quote from the Rockies pitching coach. I assume it's Alan, spelled interestingly, but Alan Leachman. They can try. It'd be absolutely hilarious if they try
to steal signs.
Yeah, like
go ahead, man.
What a dumb.
So weird. It's a bad organization, and they continue to make bad choices with the people that they bring into their organization. So nice job by the
tough luck for the baseball
Angels.
spy. He's gonna have to find a new job.
Also, one more thing: trade deadline. This is basically this week in baseball, for the record. Who's getting traded at the trade deadline, which is very, very soon, by the way. What, next Thursday?
August 3rd.
Oh,
it's in August for whatever reason. It's August 3rd.
So it's a week from this next Monday.
Yep.
Interestingly enough. Who's getting moved? Well, Tarek Skubal. Probably. Almost for sure.
Yeah.
Unless the asking price is too high.
Have they, like, the asking price is going to be high. Have they cooled off? I haven't really paid attention. They were hot for a while. And then they lost a couple games going into the All-Star break. And there's 6.5 games back in a crappy division, which means they're like 3 games back in the wild card, 4 games back in the wild card. They might hold on to them. They've kind of discussed that. Part of it is I don't know that there's like the Braves and the Dodgers are the 2 teams that are the only ones that seem to have any interest in trading.
Yep.
And so,
well, I mean, and the
both
thing
have
is
the
here,
capital, and then also,
this. I will say this whole everybody makes the playoffs thing and nobody's out of any race thing really has created a deadening of the trade deadline because nobody wants to go all in. Nobody's so far ahead of everybody else to where they're like, yeah, we need to absolutely beef up and we need to, think about what we're going to be like in 2 months. And then nobody wants to, they'd have to be really, really motivated to sell as well.
You have to be the Angels or the Rockies where you have absolutely no chance of making the playoffs.
Hopefully the Royals.
What would you like them to sell?
Michael Wacha
be gone.
Yeah.
What could they get for a Michael Wacha?
A lot. I think you could get something for a Michael Wacha. Yeah.
Well, you could definitely get something.
He was an all-star this year.
Yeah. You could help. You could certainly help a team. I think if you are
Lane
in the
Thomas,
American League.
Any interest in, would you like a Lane Thomas?
I've had a Lane Thomas. In fact,
damn it.
I've traded for a Lane Thomas.
No.
And a Lane Thomas once hit a grand slam off of a Tarek Skubal in a playoff game.
That did
and
happen.
It was an amazing moment.
That was awesome.
I don't think it's happening again. You can keep your Lane Thomas.
No.
If you're in the American League, though, I think it makes a lot of sense to go all in because the American League stinks. This is when Cleveland.
Unless you're the Royals.
Well, yeah, if you're not in the race, but if you're Cleveland and you have a couple young players and you have Jose signed and you have young pitching, this is the time to trade your surplus minors to go get another piece or two, especially if you can have them for a couple years. You have the nucleus. Invest in it. Stop being financially flexible. You already have the second lowest payroll in baseball.
But some teams are like, we don't need to do this. We're already in the mix.
That's exactly what Cleveland is.
We're already getting into the dance anyway. So why do we need to
83
spend
and
extra?
79 and we just happen to fall into 11 wins in October? We're right there.
Now, Cleveland is one of the organizations that'd be doing this anyway, regardless of if the playoffs were expanded or not. But now they have the nice excuse of the playoffs are expanded. We don't actually need to win that many games to get into the dance.
They once, in 2016, went to the World Series with like a top, they were like 23rd in payroll. They then invested a bunch of money, had the best roster in all of baseball, had the best team in baseball, and lost in a 5-game series to the Yankees. And their ownership was like, well, that wasn't fun.
Never doing that again.
We don't certainly want to sell all of these tickets and have fans enjoy it.
That's what the A's did in.
So annoying.
That's what the A's did in 2014. Yeah. The A's traded. They got John.
They
Lester.
also fell apart in the second half. Like if they don't have that happen, I think it goes a little different.
They way beefed up at the deadline.
Right. Yeah, because they had dropped off so hard from where they were in middle of June. And then they end up in that wild card game because the Angels end up winning the division.
Sometimes you run into a hot
Your
team.
favorite game of all time happens, and they go home.
What a great time it was.
Bye.
Yep. There will be many. I hope many Royals traded at the deadline, but the Royals are not an active team usually at the trade deadline.
Will Mason Miller be a Yankee?
Yes.
They want him. I just don't know that what they have to be able to get him. They also want Hunter Goodman. And if you're Alex Rodriguez, you just talk in the All-Star game, if they get a healthy Aaron Judge back and they trade for like 5 pieces, they could win the World Series.
I feel like every day I see like a graphic is like, here's who the Yankees should trade for. And it's like Babe Ruth, like Barry Bonds. And it'd be easy. All you have to do is give up your 9th, 12th, and 17th best prospect of the organization. I'm
That's
like, yeah,
the best part.
You live in a fantasy world. All right, we'll be back with Sam McEwen right after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, Wednesday morning, 8:30 here on Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. Hopefully you're enjoying the cool off this morning as we're joined by Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald. Good morning, Sam. How are you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. Somebody asked us a question earlier, and I would like to pawn that question off on you. So Big Ten Media Days next week. Let's just say that you get 2 head coach truth serum one-on-one interviews with 2 Big Ten coaches of your choice. Who are you picking out of the 18?
Great question. Okay. So let me kind of
Go ahead, work through it
for a second. I'm gonna have to think through this for a second. I think because I don't actually think he's that transparent with people, he just kind of falls back on buzz phrases a lot and like very short answers. Dan Lanning, because he's actually not very honest. Like he just kind of falls back on short answers. Mostly because I don't know that he's really comfortable talking to the media, and the other reason I don't really think he likes the press very much, in general.
He's kind of got some Bo Pelini vibes.
A little bit, yeah. He relies a lot on juice and vibes and whatever. So I'd like to actually hear him say, this is what we're trying to do, and oh my God, we were humiliated twice in the college football playoff, which they were. What all that entailed. So I think Lanning, because he has one of the very best teams. The other one, that's a great question. I think I have a pretty good sense of what the majority of the rest of the coaches think. I probably Kyle Whittingham.
Yep.
Because I think
those were 2 of them that we came up with right away. Yeah.
And Dan Lanning was the very first one I named. And then I ended up at Lincoln Riley after going through like 5 other thoughts.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley's another good one. I think what I would love to hear from a true serum standpoint from Whittingham, Michigan coaches are not very forthcoming. In the time that I've been doing this, I think I've talked to 3, and one of them was Hoke, and he wasn't very forthcoming. And Harbaugh was not forthcoming, but he was also kind of an odd guy. And then Moore was not forthcoming at all. And they don't talk to the media a lot up there. They kind of just shut them out, and they don't necessarily give them a ton of access and transparency. So I'd love to know what Whittingham thought of just showing up there and just kind of knowing that a bomb had gone off and that there's a lot of things to address there. That even though Michigan had a lot of success on the field, it's pretty clear that off the field the thing was a total mess. Probably the way that it used to be at, like Miami or something. And so now he's going to have to go in there and not just not just win games, but he's got to fix the entire culture, which he probably will do. I think they'll probably end up being a more upstanding program than they've been, or than they were under Harbaugh and more.
Sam, you like to think about these things and often have really interesting thoughts on it. Happer mentioned to me yesterday that who was the oldest coach for the SEC? Who was it again?
Venables. 55.
Venables at 55. And we were going through it, and there's like a half dozen Big Ten coaches that are older. Is part of the reason the Big Ten has maybe ascended, is it one, investment in sort of coaching longevity and also just experienced coaches in general relative to the SEC's quick trigger and latest greatest with coordinators?
Yes. So I think the what do you want to call it? The equalizer is the portal, because one of the reasons that a lot of the SEC coaches, and obviously Saban was old until he retired, one of the reasons that the SEC coaches are pretty young is it's a recruiting game down there. It's a young man's game, and you have to recruit because so much of it is rooted in talent. Well, what the portal did is it shuffles that talent around. Like, those kids don't stay at Texas for 4 years because they're not going to play. So they're going to go, they might go from Texas to Michigan State, or they might go from here to here. And then all of a sudden that coaching advantage kicks back in, a really interesting game this year is going to be, I think Mississippi State's playing Minnesota. And I mean, give me Minnesota all day long in terms of the coaching advantage. Mississippi State will have better talent. So it's going to be a question of the quality of players that Mississippi State puts on the field against the quality of coaching that Minnesota has. And you're going to see, I think you're going to see that template quite a bit, where, again, PJ Fleck against Jeff Letty, I'll take Fleck.
Right.
I think there's a number of those circumstances. And so what the portal has done is it's given these teams in the Big Ten sort of a second chance at some of these athletes who otherwise would have just stayed at their schools, for 3 or 4 years. And now they'll leave and they'll go somewhere else. And so, yeah, the coaching advantage has been there for a while. Like, I think the Big Ten has had better coaches for a long time. And, maybe those guys collectively didn't always offset Nick Saban, but like, I think the Big Ten's had better group of coaches. Will Muschamp, as good of a coordinator as he is, was not a good head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He was a terrible head coach, and he had 2 great jobs, and he blew both of them. So, like, you would never see a circumstance like that where somebody would, blow the Illinois job and get an equally good job later on. That's the power of recruiting down there, is if you can recruit, you'll get work. But can you go win football games? So now that's what happens. And so now you're getting into these bowl games and you're seeing the Big Ten beat the SEC because the talent is relative. It's much more close together than it used to be. So Illinois can go beat Tennessee. You go back 10 years ago and we watched Tennessee play Nebraska in the Music City Bowl, and the talent was not even close. It was kind of funny to watch Derek Barnett and Alvin Kamara.
It was so
Nebraska's guys. I mean, the disparity was off the charts. And so, but that disparity doesn't exist anymore. Like, Tennessee's still more talented, but they're not as talented as they used to be.
That's a fascinating way to look at it. Now, keep in mind, Nebraska didn't have a quarterback in that game, so that was,
they did.
That was one thing. That game was a disaster, though. They were completely manhandled. Like, so okay, so then hypothetical, Sam, Nebraska is a 7 or 8 win team, and they're lined up against an SEC middle of the pack team in a bowl game. I don't know who that team would be. But
South Carolina? Did you say South Carolina?
Can they get to 7 or 8? Are they that type of team? I don't know.
They were 2 years ago. They were a top 10 team last year, or top 15 team going into last year.
In that world, Sam, Nebraska hangs tighter in the ReliaQuest Bowl or whatever it is this year.
Yes, I think so. I think that the gap has just tightened. Now there's some teams in the SEC that could underachieve and be super talented in that slot, like an A&M or an LSU, and then you're kind of dealing with the same stuff that you were dealing with a decade ago. But yeah, I think generally speaking, the talent gap has tightened. It's still a recruiting game down there. You're still, Lane Kiffin is, I think, an okay head coach, but I think what he's really good at is recruiting. And so, he's good at that. There's some young coaches at Auburn and Florida who have very compelling personalities, but they haven't won a thing, and they've really never been in that many situations to have to go win big games, and have to be in a position. I know Tulane went to the playoff last year, but these guys are going to have to go through a process now where they have to coach in close games, and they're going to have to learn as they go. And there's just fewer of those coaches in the Big Ten. This is Matt Rule's 4th job as a head coach. And, that says a lot right there. South Carolina has a head coach, and that's his 1st job still. Shane Beamer, I think, is going into his 5th year or something. That's still his 1st job,
Yeah.
And so, like, he's still, and I think you see that it's his 1st job. Like, you're up 30 to 3.5 on the road at Texas A&M, and you can't find a way to pilot that thing home. You can't get that. You can't get that win in your pocket. That's not a good head coach, and that's somebody who's still learning how to do it, because you don't lose a lead like that and not have coached a good game. So I think that's an ongoing issue down there. Like, I'd take Brett Bielema as a head coach against almost anybody down there. But when Bielema was in the SEC, he didn't have better football players. So he lost a lot of games because he just couldn't. He could not match up with the talent. Now that the portal is here, it erodes that talent a little bit.
Sam, given that there's not the restrictions on-field assistant coaching and recruiting in the same way that there used to be, Does it behoove programs like Nebraska that have resources and are willing to invest in larger coaching staffs to focus more on finding guys that are better, maybe for the lack of a better term, tacticians or, coaches at their position than peer recruiters? You used to have to kind of have a mixture of it, but now you're in a world where you can sort of have both with as many off-campus recruiters, Jamar Mosey types, as you can have now.
Yes. Yep. You're absolutely right. Now you have a distribution, of talents that you're able to use. And so, even though Jeep Wade is a good offensive line coach and appears to be a very good recruiter, he doesn't have to necessarily be the guy that's going out every single time. It could be Lonnie Teasley who does some of that work, or Jamar Mosey and Keith Williams are two of your guys in Kansas City and Missouri and in the Midwest and other spots, and you can send those guys out and they can be your recruiters, while Marcus Satterfield is coaching the tight ends. I think there's definitely some of that. Your coordinators don't have to do it anymore. I think that's one of the largest things, is that if you take that responsibility away from Dana Holgorsen, I think you're more likely to get Dana Holgorsen as your offensive coordinator. I think if you were to tell him, well, what don't you miss? Recruiting. I don't think he probably doesn't miss when to go on the road and do that. So now I could see Orich doing it a little bit. I think you'll see him out on the road because he's still young and he's still going to be, I think wanting to go out and do some of that work the way that Tony White did. But yeah, there's some guys that I think you're like, hey, Dana, you don't have to go out and recruit. These kids, when they come here, they'll see you and you can do your recruiting here. But we don't need to send you on a plane, and get you in a car so you can go to some high school and, whatever. And if there's one guy that Dana Holgorsen needs to go see, like one guy, then you go send him to see the one guy on your private plane. And, you
and it means
whatever.
more.
Yeah. But you don't need to send him out to do, do widespread recruiting. I'm trying to think back. You go back a decade, and Schaefer remembers all this, obviously. Mark Banker's having to go out and recruit. Bruce Reed's out there recruiting. I mean, just guys that were probably ready to be done with that process.
Bruce Reed was definitely out there recruiting, and Nebraska did not benefit.
Right. Like, like he's out there and he's like having to, go to high schools, which he did.
Yeah, they would send him out to Sacramento and to Portland and to these areas. And I guess like he's your first line of contact and quickly get him into somebody else. But yeah, there's not a lot of value in that.
Yeah, like it's hard work. I mean, again, coaches make a lot of money and I appreciate that they do, but it is not like if you're you go back a decade, you got to go hit 25 schools in Northern California. And you have to do it by car and you have to do it in the traffic. There's not a special college football teleport device system that gets you from high school to high school. You're sitting in a car in Northern California traffic, in the Bay Area. You can't, there's no freebie there. So, that's a pain in the butt. And now you don't have to do as much of that. Like you have guys that's what they do and that's their job. And so it's a lot more palatable for an offensive coordinator or a special teams coordinator. I don't know if Brett Maher is going to go out and do recruiting or not, but I don't know that, Brett necessarily wanted to do that. I don't think he has to. He doesn't have to go out and like, here's your area, Brett, go recruit, Arizona, say hi to the folks in, Goodyear, Arizona or whatever. Like he doesn't have to do that. So it's a much better system.
All right, Sam, we'll let you go. A week from today, it's day 2 at Big Ten Media Days. So we're going to be off and rolling. We will talk then, or we'll get in touch and try and make something work. Thanks as always.
Sounds good. Take care.
Sam McEwen from the Omaha World Herald. We'll take a quick break. I have a thought on that kind of conversation. We'll clean that up and round out the 8 o'clock hour next on 1620 The Zone. Check out any number of our online contests right now. We've already told you about a couple of them today, including 1620, the golf tournament. Not much of a contest, I suppose, just a golf tournament you should join. But the road to Wrigley really is, so you could join that at 1620thezone.com. And then shows as well, like Young the Giant, Chris Stapleton, Motionless in White, Burt Kreischer, all coming to the Metro within the next couple months. So you could win tickets. Check out online, 1620thezone.com. All right, so here's my thought on what we were talking about with Sam. The idea being that regular traditional coaching staffs are less likely to be hands-on recruiters these days. I think that's kind of the gist of it. I was wondering if that happens in the basketball scene at any time soon. Like right now, you could go to any AAU event over the summer and you'll still see, I mean, it's a major sport. It's a big moneymaker. Head coaches who are hands-on recruiting at these, it's made a little bit easier because there's 60 guys in one place at one time or whatever. And, it probably changes the game that way. But you've seen the recent beefing up of staffs as far as college basketball teams are concerned. I don't know. I wonder if that's something that, it's more of a funnel situation. Like, hey, we'll get the players, we'll deal with the money stuff. You guys coach them, because that's kind of what it's been in football now.
Do you think some of it will never change with basketball because of like this very specific thing? It's a smaller roster, so it's a much bigger deal to have a personal involvement with your 3 to 5 biggest targets in basketball than football, where like it's a big deal. Like Ahmad Hudson's in town, you got to have everybody there. But if, let's say, Cooper Terwilliger, the other tight end that they really like, happens to be dropping by, and Matt Rule has something else going on, if he can't get there, it's not as like. Does that make sense? What I'm sort of saying?
Yeah.
I feel like with basketball, it's harder to remove that element of it, because if you're a stud basketball player, you probably need the head coach involved in your recruitment.
I'm just thinking. So it's interesting, and maybe this is the right angle to go with it. These basketball staffs have gotten a lot bigger over, the football staffs. Obviously, it's gone that direction. The sort of funneling and the acquisition and all that different stuff. The basketball staffs have gone more to the extra hands-on as far as the personal the training, type of individual coaching. I mean, we're almost talking 1-to-1 player to coach in basketball.
Well, it seems like it's would it be fair to say that it's an emphasis on particular skills?
I think it is. Yeah.
Like
skills or like fitness.
We want to have a coach specifically dedicated to working with big men defense.
Yep.
Or what? And you might have a coach specifically. Then you have 2 coaches that work with big men. One's offense. One almost like the football staff thing. We've heard that more. Like coaches have their defensive coordinators, if you would, in basketball, more than I ever recall hearing this.
It's just about the right sort of mix and mash of personalities, and then it's how much money you have too.
That's
how much money. I mean, like if you're a program like Creighton, who needs to make the most of it, they're not going to beef up this giant staff so they can get a big man defensive coordinator, right? They have Al Huss, even though he's the head coach,
right? He's
the big man guy,
right?
So that's at a certain point, it'll always sort of be that way with basketball staffs. All right. Just a little wonder out loud there, but a good conversation with Sam. If you missed that, go check it out. When we come back, we'll free ball a little bit. Lauren Michelson will still join the show as well. We'll have accountability all to come in the 9 o'clock hour of Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone. Good luck with that, Dave.
Free balling now, I'm free balling now, I'm free balling now, I'm free balling now,
It's time for Free Balling, where the producer reads questions on things happening in the world of sports. Connor and Mike will have the answers.
Sam writes in on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. Imagine you're a guy that's been really hooping, putting up 4 points per game in the Big West, and Hoiberg sends an assistant to visit you. You're taking Bradley over Nebraska in the portal at that point. That's right. The head coaches have to be involved because some head coaches are involved.
Yeah, I don't
right.
even.
It's a great reference.
The portal recruiting is like a whole different thing on top of it. Yeah. There's no way Fred Hoiberg went and saw Sam Orr. I don't even know how that all comes together.
Well, I mean,
the Zooms,
he
right?
saw him.
They Zoomed.
Well, I mean, like, he saw him play for Boston College last year.
Sure.
And then he came to
But you mean,
campus.
you were talking captain.
Hold on. Don't say it. Damn it.
Sorry.
Belmont.
Sorry. Remember,
Missouri
they
Valley.
changed the entire Missouri Valley Conference tournament because of this.
Lost to Evansville.
Oh,
Arch Madness. Never the
R.I.P.
same again because of Sam Orm.
thanks a
I
lot,
hate
Sam. Another reason to not like Nebraska, Connor. Is that right?
What do we got, Joey? What's cooking today?
Speaking of basketball, Steph Curry's going to have his own exhibit at the National Basketball Hall of Fame before he's even retired. What Hall of Fames do you actually hope to visit in your lifetime?
I have been to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
That is the only one that I know for sure. I 100% want to go.
I've been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Awesome. I mean, like, it's and I went at the right, like I was probably 13. Like it's kind of perfect, you know, and it really means something. The Baseball Hall of Fame really means something. It's the only one that probably does.
I think that
the other ones are just saying you're in a Hall of Fame.
Sure.
Right. So it's that one, and I don't really care about the other ones.
Joe, you said you went to the Pro Football Hall of
Yeah,
Fame?
about 10 years ago.
You enjoy it? Canton?
Yeah,
worth the
I
trip?
loved it.
Okay. All right. The only Hall of Fame I think I've ever been to, and it was for like an event, and we didn't even get to go through most of it. It was sectioned off, but we had an event held at the Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville.
Whoa.
For 24/7 sports.
Absolutely.
So I was at that. I would actually like to go back, but it's like $70 or something tickets wise. Like it's very expensive.
At the giant sports book inside of the Circa in Las Vegas, they have a little corner of it that is called the Sports Gambling Hall of Fame.
Whoa, I love that. Wow. That's great.
It's very funny.
The College Football Hall of Fame is inside the
It's inside of the Atlanta
Chick-fil-A.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, is that Chick-fil-A?
It's like a convention hall
Or
inside
Mercedes
Atlanta. Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
And then
Baseball, I for sure want to go. Football, I would go if it worked out.
I wish the College Baseball Hall of Fame was in Omaha.
Where's
Should
that
be.
at?
Wichita, I think.
Okay.
I can take a look.
Another thing where Omaha lost to Wichita.
Wait, is Wichita officially the?
I believe so.
Okay, I didn't.
It's college
That
baseball.
happened, I think, when I was gone.
Oh, you're talking about the
basketball.
basketball. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got it.
Good for them. Good for Wichita.
Great for them and great for us. No doubt about it. I don't. I bet I've been to another Hall of Fame.
I've been to the Negro League Hall of Fame in Kansas City.
That's a different subject, right? That's museums,
okay.
right?
Well, it's also isn't that also like they call it a Hall of Fame, don't
No,
they?
it's called the Negro Leagues Baseball
Okay.
Museum.
I thought it was a Hall of Fame for some reason.
I think it's just a
you're
museum,
right. It's baseball museum.
which I have been to, and it's awesome.
So that doesn't necessarily count. It is awesome. I highly recommend. If you're in Kansas City and you need something to do,
That's
and
on
you
my
like baseball
yeah.
at all,
That's on my list. Now, if we did a power rankings with tiers,
ooh, okay, I'm on it.
museums,
Okay, I like it.
museums.
Have you ever been to DC?
I have. It's awesome.
I've
There's
been
so
there.
many museums. It's
So much
amazing.
fun.
So many places.
Oh yeah, YouTube. Thank you. It's in Lubbock, the College Baseball Hall of Fame. Lubbock,
Oh.
Tech. Lubbock, Wichita. It's the same thing in
With
my.
the tortillas.
Tortillas.
Sorry, the tortillas.
Tortillas.
Oh my bad.
Oh no!
I stopped it. That's all right. We didn't do the music anyway. Although it is entertaining.
I like the music. Yeah.
R.I.P.
Next question.
Tom Brady versus Logan Paul. Wait, what? Who the heck wants this?
Great question.
Is Tom Brady broke? Does TKO think people who watch wrestling want to see this? How quickly will everyone backpedal? Have I asked enough questions, you guys?
Yes. Plenty. So this started over the Fanatics Fest where Jake Paul, I can't believe the sentence I'm saying right now. At the Fanatics Fest where Jake Paul and Tom Brady.
Logan Paul, I think.
No, I think it's Jake.
No, it's Logan Paul.
Damn it. Okay. I never get him right.
I thought it was Jake initially. I think you might have wrote Jake on this, and then I thought it was Jake, and then I went back and looked, and it's Logan.
All right. Damn it. Tom Brady slapped him in the face at the Fanatics Fest. Then they were both at the World Cup game, the World Cup final, flipping each other off.
Something.
And then it became very obvious at that point that they were doing something. And it turned out they were.
So
They were promoting a wrestling thing that they're doing. Well, I don't know. I haven't looked into it beyond that because I already predetermined that whatever they were trying to promote, I hated.
I know.
And I was right for the record.
I know. I think on Super Bowl week, Tom Brady appeared on Logan Paul's podcast, and Logan made a comment about like football players comparing them to wrestling athletes, and I think it's something that Tom Brady did not like. I think he was trying to discredit Tom Brady. Or
It's
something,
all a bit. You know, they don't
which
actually.
which led to this bet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like dumbfounded as to who in the world wants this. Also, you're Tom Brady. Like, why?
It's embarrassing.
Why are you
engaging in
doing
this?
this?
It's embarrassing.
Like there was a time
No
where
need.
it was cool to be a professional athlete and associated with wrestling. It was Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone. The year was 1997.
That's literally the one time.
That's the most notable that well, you have NBA players like Jalen Brunson was involved like last week at something.
No idea.
Tyrese Halliburton has been involved in the past. Like there's a crossover there. You're Tom Brady, but you're not Jalen Brunson. You're like high, like you are held at a really high esteem.
Just every
You
other
don't need this financially. You don't need it from a publicity standpoint.
every other thing he does is like he's trying to be dignified. Like he's got
Right.
his own clothing brand. He owns a hotel and casino in Vegas. He owns the freaking Raiders. You know, like
I'm fairly certain he
That's
like,
the
didn't
highest-
eat real food for years to sustain himself.
that's high society, man. And now he's flipping off Jake Logan Paul at a. This is so dumb. I don't know why he's doing this.
And then if you're actually a wrestling fan, I can't imagine this interests you either.
Absolutely not.
You're already dealing with the fact that Logan Paul's involved.
Absolutely.
So ridiculous.
I can't speak for wrestling fans, but I would assume that is the case.
We'll let Matt speak.
Yeah.
for him.
We'll let him spend 25 minutes. But on the other side, on Bill Simmons Reddit, someone asked a very Bill Simmons question.
Great question.
Who is the athlete comparison for Matt Damon?
So it was described as this. I'll read the post from the Reddit page, which I love that there's a Bill Simmons Reddit for the record. Also, have you seen the Bill Simmons pod Reddit Twitter?
No, I haven't seen that.
Mm-mm. It's funny.
I have seen Bull Simmons.
Bull Simmons is great too.
Right.
That's a different thing. So here it was. What is the Matt Damon athlete comp? Was thinking about this several times through Odyssey. Here's one descriptor. Has never been the unquestioned number one guy in his field, but has been top 3 to 5 for so long that it's almost more impressive than being number one for a second than fading. The second descriptor is a couple blips, but never fell off or anything. Every 5 years or so, he takes a small beating, but always comes back. Guns a-blazing, Matt Damon. And the third descriptor is tabbed as a prodigy as a youngster and managed to live up to the hype. The most obvious and popular answer to this is Bryce Harper. I think it really follows it to a T.
Okay. I can see that
Like
one.
prodigy, what like was supposed to be this, and this.
Matt Damon was like a prodigy.
I mean, at a young age, he was.
I know that he was
He was
in
in the
stuff at a relatively teenage age, but yeah, okay.
Everyone knew right away that he was going to be a
Sure.
guy for a long time. And that's what it was with Bryce Harper. Now they thought he was going to be the best player or whatever. He's ended up being a really good player with a really good career for a long time, but probably has never been the guy in baseball. Now, I want to watch Bryce Harper a lot, just like I want to watch every Matt Damon movie, So,
even the zoo one.
if Matt Damon's in it, I'm automatically probably 65% more interested.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no.
If Matt Damon or Leo DiCaprio show up in a movie, I'm way more likely to watch it instantaneously.
Leo's in it. I'm 100% interested. Yeah. Matt Damon's in it. I'm interested, but he doesn't have this cachet for me, or
it's not a lock. You're right. It's not a lock.
Which is why I think it sort of fits in this. Oh, I went way off the board here.
All right, this is
Bryce
good.
Harper is a different stratosphere than sort of where I was at with this. But I think this person works. You kind of have to go with it. It fits a lot of these categories. Justin Rose.
Okay.
So
give me the reason.
Rose to prominence when he was 17 years old with a bursting out of nowhere 4th place finish in the British Open at Royal Birkdale, which is where it was held this past year. He's routinely, and I mean routinely, a threat.
He's
to win
the safest
any
bet
major.
for any major pool that you've ever
the
been
guy
in. Yeah.
has, I'm sure, a number of top 10 finishes in majors. He's never been the best golfer in the world. And at 45, he's still a threat in any major. He was again this past year when at the Masters he was involved for a while there, where a course that he's played a lot. Like he's always around. He's always involved in something. But you're never thinking okay, you're rattling off best performances or best whatever. usually Justin Rose isn't coming up there, but he's always involved.
Yep.
There's probably a little bit, he's not a big enough star. Like there's just maybe that doesn't quite rise to that level, but it fits, I think, everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody knows. Like
certainly golf is
if
a tough choice to go with.
If you're telling me on a Sunday that Justin Rose is in a major again, I'm not going to immediately want to sit down and watch it.
To be honest, what I usually am when Justin Rose is leading in a major on a Sunday, I'm rooting for who's ever chasing.
Right. So,
and it's nothing against, I don't have anything against Matt Damon. I don't have anything against Justin Rose. I'm just never like that fired up about either.
Somebody said on YouTube, Brett said Jeter. Is he too big of a star? Is Jeter too big of a star in his own sport to be? Did he win too much?
I think he won too much. I think he's too big of a star.
Because he was, I mean, I guess I don't know the awards history on Matt Damon.
I mean, Jeter was a bigger star when he had better players on his own team.
Right. Like, and he just won so much that he ended up being sucked into, like, he ended up being the representative of all of those teams. And I don't know that that's necessarily been the case for Damon. Like this is a compliment to Damon. He has pulled more of his weight than Jeter did. I guess.
I do love the idea of Jeter, Damon, A-Rod, Affleck though, because of the J-Lo thing and everything. Like that works for me on like a hilarity level.
Yeah,
I don't know that it works overall, but I could kind of talk myself into it.
Look at some of the responses that they got on this. So a lot of people said Bryce Harper. Somebody said Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones. Just a long, steady career. Won a little bit, but was, respected for a long time. Somebody said Kevin Durant. Somebody said Mike Evans.
It's higher than Mike Evans.
There's like a lot of cases that you could make here. Klay Thompson, Jason Tatum. It's actually kind of not bad right now.
The Boston piece of it works too.
That's pretty good.
How do you feel about that?
Jason,
actually, does Joey even have thoughts on Matt Damon?
Are you team Matt Damon?
No, I have no thoughts on.
Have you seen a Matt Damon movie?
I watched.
You seem like someone that would have seen Team America World Police.
I did not see that movie.
Okay,
that is surprising.
I watched.
That really surprises me.
I watched.
Matt Damon has a major role.
I watched The Martian
World.
for the movie club.
Okay,
so you have seen The Martian.
Yeah,
you have
I've
seen
The
at
Martian.
least one Matt Damon movie.
I mean, I'll have to look through the list of his movies.
I got it right here if you want it. We got like 1 minute before we get to Lauren here. Let's go back a little bit. So I assume that you've never seen like Rounders, Mike McD.
No.
Yeah, all right. Let's go to some more popular ones. Ocean's 11. Did you ever see Ocean's 11?
Saving Private Ryan. I obviously saw that. He's in that movie.
You saw Euro Trip.
Nope.
Really? That feels like a Joey movie.
I don't watch a lot of movies.
I don't know.
No, it just feels like a Joey movie.
I'm not a movie guy.
No, I know, but it just feels like a Joey movie nonetheless.
I almost feel like Joey movies are basically South Park's Bigger, Longer, Uncut. The pandemic specials.
I will say I like
the Beavis and Butthead.
I like watching
Do
war
America.
movies. War movies are
war movies.
All right.
Did you ever see The Departed?
No, I've not seen that though.
All right. Did you ever see True Grit?
No.
Did you ever see?
I've seen some of the classic stuff. I saw some newer stuff.
You did not see Interstellar?
No, I've not seen that.
You did watch The Martian?
Yes.
Have you seen any of the Jason Bourne movies? Have you seen Ford versus Ferrari? Have you seen Oppenheimer?
No.
I've
been wanting to see that movie.
Okay. What else do we have? We have now recently, of course, The Odyssey. Did you see Air, the Michael Jordan movie?
No, I've not seen the movie. I've not seen that movie, but I see Air.
We got to get you a couple. We got to get you a couple Matt Damon movies.
I think my favorite Matt Damon is Good Will Hunting. It might be
Good Will
The
Hunting,
Departed.
man.
I think those are the top two in there. I think that's what it is.
Will needs plenty of bartenders. Back after this with Lauren Michelson on 1620 The Zone.
Lauren Michelson.
I'm hoping you guys can wake me up a little bit this morning.
Lauren Michelson.
I will not feel bad for any of you in Omaha.
Lauren Michelson.
So whenever, hits the fan.
Lauren Michelson. KETV Channel 7.
No other thing I'd rather be doing at 9:15, 9:20 in the morning than talking to you two.
Lauren Michelson on Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone.
I am ready to get the heck out of here.
All right. We are joined now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline by our good friend Lauren Michelson from KETV. Lauren, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, you guys. I'm doing well. How are you both?
Good. We were just having we've set off Michael Severe. He's now rage texting Mike Schaefer about Matt Damon. So now we have to ask you about Matt Damon. He was recently in the Odyssey. Where are we at? How high is he on your list of actors that you need to see the movie if they're in it?
I personally don't want to see the Odyssey. So
too long.
That is too long. I can't sit there in a movie theater for 3 hours. I can't do it. I could maybe do it at home. I can't do it in a movie theater. But yeah, I like him. I liked him in The Martian. He's done a lot of those, Interstellar too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a must-see for me, but I like him a lot. But I'm not going to go see the Odyssey.
All right, get ready to get some Michael Severe texts.
Do we even know if Severe's going to see the Odyssey? That seems like it's a long time in a movie theater for him.
I don't know. It's a great question.
And I don't even know if it's about seeing Matt Damon movies. He's just mad that I Justin Rose was my comparison.
You undershot him.
Yeah. Which I admitted when I said it. I was like, this is going too low.
All right. So who is your, all right, this person's doing a movie. Whether it's a director or an actor or whatever it is, I need to go see this movie. This will get me off my couch into the movie theater.
Oh gosh. Okay. I really like a thriller movie. I can't remember the director, but all the Key and Peele, he does some of them, which is so random because he's a comedian.
So Jordan Peele?
With the Get Outs? Yeah.
And then
what's the other one? Yeah, Get Out, Us, some of those ones that really mess with you that you I like the movies where you're sitting there and you're watching with other people and you're collectively what the heck is going on right now? And you're just mind blown.
Do you like horror movies?
Okay, cool.
I don't like horror. I like the psychological thriller. It's really different. It's different. I don't like
Schaefer.
the jump scares. Yeah,
Okay.
Come on now.
Sorry. All right.
Twisty, dark and twisty.
So you're talking about
you're trying to cheapen it by calling them scary horror movies, Mike Schaefer.
Yeah, horror movies are gore and that type of stuff.
Sorry.
I want to be mind messed with.
Okay.
So to clarify, you mean things like Nope or Us or movies like that? Those are Jordan Peele movies. Okay.
Yes. Those are very good. Some people probably don't think so, but that is my opinion this morning.
I like them. That's a great opinion. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get to what you've been up to. First of all, whose idea was it to go down and do PKs with Johnny and Gab?
That was amazing.
That was a fantastic bit.
Absolutely amazing.
I love this.
I was actually having a conversation with Creighton, one of Creighton's SIDs, Glenn Sisk. Shout out to him. He's helped us many a times this summer through some of the lean days. And I was looking for ways to localize the World Cup. And he actually brought the idea up. He's like, would you want to walk through how what goes into taking PKs? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So he really helped orchestrate that. And then we just kind of got everything together. And I'll tell you what, I played soccer for a little bit in high school, 1.5 seasons before I got hurt. And I knew back then what went into it. It is so different. I couldn't move like that. And they were great. Johnny Torres was awesome. And Gabs was really fun. They were just a really great time. And they have 13 new players on their roster this upcoming season. So they're psyched about a new look team, but they're just hilarious. We really had fun.
One thing about Johnny and Gabber is you are always going to have energy. There will be energy when those two are involved at all.
And I'll tell you, I went there, like I haven't kicked a soccer ball in 10 years. So I get there and I'm wearing like regular tennis shoes. And I just already know it's going to go horribly because you need cleats, like to even make decent contact. And Torres goes to his car, grabs a pair of cleats from his men's league. So I wear like a women's size 7 and he had like a 7.5 or an 8. He's like, just wear them. So I wore his cleats during it. And it made a difference. And then I'm taking them off and he's like, you can just keep them. I have like old used cleats under my desk at work. I don't know. I was like, you need to sign them or something. We can auction them off for I don't remember his men's league, but they do pretty well.
So Lauren, let's say hypothetically, there's a charity event where media members are asked to try to score a penalty kick against, like, let's say the Union Omaha goalkeeper. And every media member that scores, money goes to charity. What would your strategy be if you were lining up now that you've gone through all of this? What would your strategy be now for a penalty kick?
Yeah, that's a great question. And everyone
that event should happen, by the way. I just created that on the fly. Let's make that happen.
I think that's a great idea. One, I think Union Omaha are great, and someone coined that. You want to know your target before you step up. I think that's big. You don't want to get up there. I mean, some players can get up there and make a split second decision, but I think what worked best for me was knowing where I wanted to target and then firing through. And I need a longer approach, and I need to square my hips more, but you don't want to, you got to make sure you can kind of fake out the keeper. Like Gabs was kind of terrifying in there. So
he's a presence. I mean, he's moving around.
Large. Yeah. He's a big dude. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. Honestly, that was one of my highlights of the summer. They were really great.
I actually never knew that. You should make up your mind on what you're going to do. But like, I kind of just thought they went up to the ball.
I assume the stutter step allowed them to figure out what they were going to do at that point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked too. But like seriously, when you get up there, it's like, oh God, like I don't know. I mean, if you can do that, I think that's really impressive. Like I think most of it is just staying calm. Like it is a mind game for sure.
All right, the more you know. And so next time it'll be shooting a free throw in basketball, or I don't know, maybe getting a serve over in volleyball.
Maybe get your entire group out there from Channel 7 and try to have to break a press. Maybe that's the next thing
my
you
gosh.
can do.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, there's some fun things. We should do more of these interactive.
I like this.
They're great. It's great.
I'm going to come up with a list. I'll send it over.
Thank you. Good idea.
So we have golf coming up soon. The Pinnacle Bank Championship is coming up in a couple weeks. Of course, Big Ten Media Days is next week. Is that what we're looking forward to right now on the horizon? Just football?
Yep, football is so. Yeah, we had Pinnacle Bank Championship Media Day yesterday. Played 9 holes. It was beautiful and hard and horrible. Lost a lot of balls. That 9th hole is really brutal, but the course is in great shape. That begins August 6th. And then, football media days. I'm taking some time off this week. Andy Kendi is just getting back in studio today. I'm so psyched. And we're going to just kind of head out, I think, on Wednesday to Chicago. So we're really only there for Nebraska, kind of a quicker trip than we normally take. And I'm ready to just kind of get things going. Like, enough talking. Let's actually get things started.
The media days thing is just so hard to, like, if you actually wanted to cover the conference, it's probably really hard to, given that there's so many teams. You used to be able, like when it was, Nebraska's been in it when it's been 12 or 13, right? 13 is the least amount of members.
No, 12. They made it 12 in 2011.
They could do it in a day or two, and you feel like you could actually legitimately cover the entire thing. Not anymore. It's different now, Lauren.
Yeah, it's impossible. Like we still do. We do a preseason preview show for Nebraska football, and part of that, it used to be, I think, an hour. And part of the way we'd fill that show was we would break down their entire schedule. So during media days, even my first year at KUTV, just like almost 3 summers ago, we would go through and try and talk to every head coach at his individual podium to write something up and preview for the special. But even the thought of doing that now isn't feasible. It's just way too crazy. And the Big Ten's changed locations now, like 3 years, and it's just kind of like we don't really know what to even expect anymore. So it's not worth the time.
Lauren, the players that are going to be there for Nebraska, I believe Justin Evans, Luke Lindenmeyer, and I think Andrew Marshall. I think those are the three that are that are what are you kind of hoping to hear from Nebraska's players? What are you looking to learn about sort of the kind of what's happened post spring and this summer as they get themselves prepared for the upcoming fall camp?
Yeah, I had an interesting conversation with someone close to the program this week, and he was saying the biggest difference he's feeling is like almost a culture shift. Like it's almost like Matt Rule really feels like he has something in this team. And I asked him, I'm like, would you say this is Matt Rule's most talented roster at Nebraska? And he wouldn't say yes to that, but he did say it's their deepest across multiple positions. And you can see that, especially with positions like wide receiver, offensive line, defensive edge. And if for a guy like Justin Evans, when you brought in a new offensive line, like the offensive line is such an interesting position group this year because say what you want about how they played last year, they really were in tune with Donovan Raiola as their position coach. They all moved as one, did things as one, set the tone for practice, first ones to arrive, last ones to leave. And a lot of that culture ran through the way the offensive line room works. And so Jeep Wade comes in. How does he continue that? Well, the guys have really bought in, and that's with, hey, we have 3 new starters anyway with Paul Mbanga and Brendan Black and Tree Babalade. And so just the culture-wise, the experience, and then the size from that room, I'm excited to hear from a guy like Justin Evans, who's been in that room now and who can kind of talk on the differences. He's a little quiet. We're going to have to pull some stuff out of him at media days. I'm interested to see how he attacks all the attention on him that week. But I'm really excited to talk to him about just the makeup of the room and what he notices as some differences.
I'm sure there will be opportunities, plenty of them, especially in camp. And then, they'll do a Nebraska kind of quote unquote media day before they start camp. But are you at all, like, how does it hit you that Anthony Calandria isn't representing Nebraska at media days? Does that make sense? Are you weirded out by it? Like, I guess, what's your takeaway from that?
Like, I wish he was going to be there. I just think it would make sense, right? And I think, yeah, that's just a personal thing. Like, media-wise, it'd be nice to have that time to get to know him there. And I think, you want your starting quarterback there to represent your team. But, this is his first season. It's kind of on, well, I'd say it's on tune with what Matt Rule's done in the past. But he brought Jeff Sims to media days a couple years ago. So I don't really know what the decision process was there, but I do know, like, technically, yes, Anthony Calandria is the starter. No doubt they brought him in to be the starter. He's the projected starter, but you still have some really experienced quarterbacks behind him and TJ Lateef and Danny Kaelin, who are very much still fighting for that backup role. So I don't know if it's just a way to continue to cultivate that competition or what it is, but yeah, I'm disappointed he won't be there. I wish he would have brought him.
All right, Lauren, we'll let you go. Keep up the great work as always. Thanks for dropping by. We'll talk to you, maybe from the road next week.
Yeah, for real. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. See ya. Lauren Michelson from KETV. 1 week from today, people will be on the road.
On the road.
Sam will, I'm sure, already be there. Maybe he'll be acting out scenes from The Fugitive.
Maybe he'll be trying to get a one-on-one with Dan Lanning.
Maybe.
And Kyle Whitting.
And inject them with truth serum.
Oh, man.
I love the idea of the truth serum interviews.
Yes.
There's no such thing, obviously, as the truth serum.
His characterization of how Dan Lanning does his interviews and sort of like...
I think it's pretty accurate.
I hadn't really thought about it that deeply. And then I went back and like was mentally thinking of some of the quotes and just sort of how he is. And it's like,
the really advanced guys that don't want to do it, they know how to get out of there in the shortest amount of time possible. Like they know how to work their way around it so that people like them and they come off as likable, but also they don't want to.
The thing that kills me about it is Oregon repeatedly has had coaches like this, and they have a very small media scene.
Yeah,
and it's like it's not like you have to face a firing squad up there. You're getting the same like 4 dudes every time.
Yep, it really is.
They're not going to be asking overly hard hitting questions.
Probably not. All right, when we come back, we have accountability and a couple other things as we get you out of here on a Wednesday on 1620 The Zone. All right, final couple minutes here on Happer and Schaefer, 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com. A reminder that this week's Zone deal is still, as always, half off, and it is still Red Door Wood Fired Grill. Friday morning at 9, $50 worth of gift cards for just $25. Red Door in Exarban. Or you could listen on Sports Conduct for your chance to win it all for free this week as well. But the Zone deal goes on sale Friday at 9 at 1620thezone.com. Folks,
ladies and gentlemen, it's time for accountability.
all right. So I have a couple things here. Number one, I need to drink more water in my life. I sip of my coffee for the entirety of the show. I need to drink more water. I do a pretty good job of housing a few of these a day. Joey, thank you. What a fantastic producer he is. I need to drink more water. So I'm going to hold myself accountable to drink more water.
Okay.
That's goal number one for me.
All right.
You have any accountabilities?
Yeah, I mean, along those lines of just self-improvement, we could really just call this the Matt McMaster, segment.
Accountability. We have to hold ourselves accountable to it.
I have told myself for a while, I just need to get out in the neighborhood and walk more. And I just haven't made the time to do it.
Love it.
And, it's like, oh, our family will go for a walk, whatever. My 2-year-old sucks to walk with at the moment.
Yeah, because he stops all
He
the
doesn't
time.
either. Well, what he wants to do is bring a basketball with him and shoot on everyone's basketball hoop, which sounds adorable, but is actually awful. And then he just tries to wander into people's garages. He's so obsessed with basketball. It's actually made things difficult for us in some ways. And so we can't go on walks with him anymore. And then I need to physically get out and take advantage of the trails.
He sounds like a future
Jason Green.
That's what he sounds like to me. That guy just loves basketball.
If it gets his college paid for, I'm good with it.
Jason Green.
Awesome.
You,
All right.
You failed to mention that you still forget to turn on and off your microphone. But
Well, I have you for that, Joey.
That's not
pretty
a
sure I
surprise.
turned my microphone on when I needed to today. The turning off is
The
always
off
an
one is, yeah. You were like,
You can just do that. I'm good with that. I'm giving you full responsibility for turning off my microphone.
all right, Joey.
I'll have to watch two guys for the next 2 days.
What about you, Joey? Would you like to be accountable for anything?
Yeah, I should hold myself accountable for. I mean, I was
For the nap you're about to take?
Yeah, for the nap I'm about to take. Well, for not taking naps for the last
Do
3
you
weeks.
do it today or should you save it for tomorrow?
That's a good question.
Ooh.
I don't think you want to be preemptively accountable for anything because what happens if you don't take the nap?
Or just use them on Fridays because then I don't have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning on a
Are you
Saturday.
are you allowing yourself a nap a week? Is this your goal? We got to hear a goal.
I should be setting goals. That's what I should be accountable for. It's
There
just
you go.
not setting goals.
Nap
All three of
goals.
us pick a goal. Yours is drinking water. I'm going for more walks. Joey's is less naps.
Nap
and we see
goals.
how we do.
Well, I'm riding on a 3-week streak of no naps.
All right.
So I'm already fulfilling that goal.
You might have to pick a different goal.
You might have to set your goal at no tolerance, 0 naps ever.
Wow. I don't know. That's
gonna be tough to accomplish.
I have a question for you. So you're waking up at 4:30 in the morning on weekdays. Saturday, Sunday, is your body able to just stay asleep, or do you wake up and have to get yourself back asleep?
For an additional 2 or 3 hours. I'll probably wake up around 7 o'clock ish on the weekends.
bad.
That's really good.
My goal.
I'd be excited if I got to 7 o'clock
Yeah.
on the weekends.
I'll gladly take it.
I'm
so accustomed to going to bed early.
Right.
I have one more accountability.
Okay.
All right. If you're watching along, it's on YouTube. Did any of you see this? Schaefer, go ahead and take a look. This young fella playing in an AAU tournament, playing some defense here. He's clearly got the crowd rolling. And he's like, you know what? I got a headband, clear out. It's time for me to make some noise. He dishes the ball. He gives it up. Then he's like, give this ball back to me. And he's going to let about a 35-footer go and drink. All right. I love this video. This is a great video. And, the crowd goes wild and they storm midcourt. He ran that guy over right there. It's an absolutely fantastic video and I love it. So I tweeted out that video last night and I was like, this guy's an animal or something like that. I got a tweet from Michael Snow, our dear friend, Michael Snow.
Okay.
And I saw the notification. I saw the tweet in the middle of the night when I woke up last night. And all I saw was that the tweet said, "Remember that time we lost 4-on-5?" And that is true. Michael and I were on an intramural a rec league basketball team that lost 4-on-5 one time. Okay, that did happen. But I thought he was talking about Nebraska basketball in the NCAA tournament against Iowa. So I'd like to hold myself accountable for that.
Wow. All of that just to make a 4-on-5 Nebraska basketball.
You like the punchline.
That's incredible. That was well done.
Thank you.
I was like, where is this going?
It's a long and winding road.
At one
to
point,
get
I was
there.
like, did Snow tell you it was a really well done AI video? Like, what? Did you get duped? Like, what happened here?
Yeah, I came up with that one pretty quick. I seriously thought he was talking about Nebraska basketball.
This is you guys were in a rec league for the ticket, right?
Yeah.
And
we were terrible.
You got murdered like every game.
Every game.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
I remember hearing about this.
Sometimes we only had.
Was this when Baugh was working at the ticket?
No, it was not.
This was
unfortunately.
So you didn't even have like a legitimate. I worked at. I don't even know who the best basketball player when I worked at the ticket would have been.
It's probably me, which is not good.
Yeah.
Bach shoots threes.
Sure.
Jake shoots threes weirdly. And you guys can ask him about that on Friday.
So, like, Jake is at least athletic enough that the conditioning and running and all of that is fine.
Yeah. He'll hang in there.
But he didn't like play high school basketball or anything.
He most certainly did not.
No. I can't speak to Bach. I know Bach really likes basketball.
He shoots threes.
Okay.
He's
like squat up in the corner.
He's got that thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody would probably believe this, but for a long time, basketball was my best sport.
Oh, awesome.
I mean, I didn't look exactly as I do now, so it helped in that regard that I was a lot more in shape.
But you got like,
but there was like a period of time where I was bigger than a lot of people that I played, and then you get into high school and it's like, yeah, they don't need a 6 foot.
And you're like pretty, like you're big. You're a big person, but you can move too. Like you're athletic. Like
my skill was passing,
functionally mobile.
I was like pretty good at like either the outlet pass off of a rebound or
maybe
whatever.
Jokic Schaefer.
Could have been.
All right. That'll do it for us today on the show. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Time for a crossover with Matt. Coming up next.